Hello everyone and welcome to our very first episode of Aquaria. Aquaria is mainly a water-filled planet with the exception of two densely populated continents, one on the northern region and one on the southern region. The entire world is governed by the overarching ruler, the Empire. Now the Empire also holds the waters in between each of these two continents where you'll find the rest of the world's population on the Great Trade Route. Now on this great trade route, you can see everything from small vessels to ginormous freighters with cities on top of it. The first location we're going to check out is the southern continent called Aquaria. Aquaria, you'll find about 70% of the entire world's agriculture growth. You'll also find the world's largest dock network, Farnrich, where all of the lower class to mid-class work is done. And then on the most southern region of Aquaria, you're going to find the tundra area, where a lot of the outcasts of the Empire or anyone who speaks up against the Empire get shunned to. Our next location is the northern continent of Neuron, the home of the Empire. Starting on the southern coast is the Royal Docks. The Royal Docks hold all of the main headquarters of all of the businesses throughout the entire world, leading up into the middle of Neuron, where you'll see the heart of the Empire. The tiered systems flow down from the giant center castle. And then right up above the Empire, you're going to find the Royal Farms, where the other 30% of the agriculture is grown. And then right beyond that, you're going to find a ginormous wall splitting the top of the continent from the bottom one, and that is the military section. The entire Empire's military force resides there, protecting the Empire from the threats of the north. People have traveled on the other side of Aquaria only to find empty, vast waters with dangerous weather. The only other exception is a barren landmass called the Sharded Delta in between the two continents. A lot of people who follow a strange cult that came out of nowhere with no history called the Aeon Dunes get shunned to that region. The Dunes that survive on this Sharded Delta mainly survive off of shipwreck material and whatever they can salvage from trade. These Dunes also worship the potential of a giant sea serpent maybe coming back to Aquaria one day to take it back over. There's even been some sightings of these Dunes swimming underneath the water to never return. So there's been rumors that there's civilization underneath that delta. And last but not least, the threats of the north, Titans. Now each of these Titans hold a special elemental power. 4 of them lead a group of gathering of people in each quadrant of their land on that northern region of Neuron. There's the 5th and final Titan on the very, very top of the Bridge Shell Taiga, the highest mountain on the entire planet. Now these Titans have been seen communicating with one another, and even more importantly, communicating down to their middlemen, the Chosen Ones. Now the Chosen Ones, they're donning the color of the element that the Titan is the master over. They are the only ones who talk directly to the Titans, and they bridge that gap between the Titans and their followers. There's been peace for over 3 decades between the northern region and the southern region of Neuron. Suspicion rises as there's plenty of movements of personnel on that northern region and even a couple meetings of the Titans. With the Empire on high alert, we have our start of our campaign. All of our adventurers found by one way or another fate onto the docks of Farnrich in the southern continent of Aquaria. There, they all happen to be curious of a ginormous vessel that has appeared on the docks overnight. Now, this ginormous vessel, called the Peregrine Prize, is as long as the eye can see. There's also been sightings of cities built on top of this ginormous vessel as well. Now, with this vessel coming out of nowhere and plenty of questions arising because the resource economy is very, very strict with the limited amount of land and resources they've been able to use. So obviously there was a bit of a ruckus of people trying to figure out what this could possibly mean. In one way or another, all of our adventurers have found their way into the brig of this vessel. Whether arrested or there by any other means, we're going to join our adventurers now in the heart of this Peregrine Prize. Hello everyone and welcome to our very first session of Rolls to Die For Aquaria 2 Worlds. Now, I'm going to go down the line to our beautiful cast, and I'm going to have them all introduce themselves and a little bit about themselves, if they're a type of content creator, etc. So we're going to start with our first content creator, Misty Step. Go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Emma, or I'm known as Misty Step on TikTok. I make Magic the Gathering and D&D content, and I am thrilled to be here.
Thank you very much. Next, it's Anna Margaret.
Hi, so I'm Anna Margaret. I go by It's Anna Margaret everywhere online. I'm a full-time cosplayer and content creator, and I recently fell in love with Magic the Gathering, and it's now become a core part of my personality. Super excited to be part of this game.
Awesome, thank you. And then next is Mishamigo.
Hi, everybody. I am Magic Mishamigo. I am on Twitch. Just Mishamigo on Twitch, but on Twitter, I'm Magic Mishamigo. I like to play EDH. I'm also big into Limited, and I'm also a caster for the VML. So you can check me out on any of those. And that's me.
Nice. Alrighty, Yaggoth.
Hey everyone, I'm Yogg, or Nick. Yoggoth on Twitch and Twitter there. Just a Magic the Gathering content creator. Yeah, that's about all I got there.
Alrighty, and then last but not least, we've got EDH Cafe.
Hello, I am Z, also known as EDH Cafe. I'm your lovely NB Cards Link weirdo. I am a MTG content creator, mainly focused on Elder Dragon Highlander and creating inclusive spaces within Magic the Gathering communities.
Thank you guys so much. We're going to go ahead and dive right into our world. So all of our characters have already previously had an individual session with me where we go over the world and kind of integrating them into it with their new lovely characters that they've built and loved. We've all found ourselves in the same setting. So in the world of Aquaria, there's a main dock network called Farnrich that leads up the Great Trade Route to the Empire that I talked about already. And they have all found their way, one way or another, in the bottom brig of this vessel or this ship called the Peregrine Prize. They've stumbled upon a couple prison mates, or what they call workers, on this vessel, and they have found their way out onto this main, looks to be sectioned off area for meeting purposes or for a general announcement purpose. All of our characters are kind of within a yellow taped off box on the floor, seem to be kind of going with the flow with all of these other prisoners that seem to be familiar with what's going on. Some of our characters aren't really, well, all of our characters aren't really familiar with what is going on, so they've all started off this campaign kind of going with the flow and moving with this energy of the room. Everyone's looking up expectantly at an individual named Farwin Torwarb. He is presented himself as this main announcer to everybody and introduced everyone to the boat for the first time. All right, and this is the 3rd of June, which is one day post-dock. Now, the condition of the ship is perfect, as everyone would know, because we just docked. And we have had no work condition issues yesterday, which is great news to me. Outstanding news also overnight. No mischief happened, and I'm glad that everyone followed the rules. We've also gained lovely total of 5 workers. So please everyone, be on your best behavior and don't bully them like you did the last workers. We're gonna go and start off with our list of individuals and their positions of the day. If you are a new worker, you better be listening it up because I only say this once. For the Balzan Dining Hall, we have Lady Verzi, Urung, Val, Adamadi, Alec, and Antiope. You guys may go ahead and start heading your preparations for your respective area. The Coal Yard, we're going to be looking at Linda, Dirk, Not-So, Otis, Inigo, Yance, Evelyn, Samuel, Lowborn, Hazel, Cookie, and Selena. And in the Steamworks, one of our favorite places for all of us to travel to, we have Parnima, Galtia, Ari. I'm sorry, it's let me reread this here. It looks like it was scribbled out a couple times. Aria Swift, Kerchang, Sally, Heretic, Bolgush, Kinley, Rhett, Galene, Yander, and Ray. Now everybody, make sure that you follow the proper procedures when entering each place of work. Remember, it is closely monitored, and it will ensure the success for everyone on this vessel. The hands of the Peregrine Prize is in yours. Please, if you have any inquiries, make sure you see your local guard for your individual room if you need any help. I will see you guys all at lunchtime. And Farwen is this, 30-year-old male, presenting like he's got like purplish armor with blue outlet like lacings, and surrounding him along the border of the ceiling is like a catwalk almost. And filling this catwalk is other guarded individuals. They kind of hold this mantle of mainly white with a little bit of blue hue on them, and some of them are white with a little bit of gold on them as well. And it looks like among all of them, they seem to be having some like regular postings on each one of them, and all the guards seeming to be already be knowing kind of what is going on with the rotation of the jail schedule. Now, as you look around you, we have ourselves our individual that we'll be working with, which is Galene. Will you please introduce yourself?
Hi. So you look over and she looks strikingly aquatic. Really pointed ears, like silvery hair that looks like it's kind of flowing in the wind, and kind of bluish tinted skin. She looks very concerned right now because this is very enclosed, and so she's a little bit freaked out. And so I'm not sure I'm too happy to be here. So I heard my name. Do I kind of like looking around? Do I see people I recognize?
Yeah, you do notice a couple individuals. You're familiar with this an automaton figure to your right. Cookie, will you please introduce yourself?
Yep. There's Cookie here. Cookie is a Warfoged, about 6 feet, 6'5", so tall but heavy set, very large, very heavy looking, with a peg leg, eye patch, and covered from head to toe with rust. Very slow moving, just sort of gentle looking creature.
Yeah, and as you look onto Cookie, you notice that one of Cookie's colleagues, a woman by the name of Aria, approaches Cookie. Aria, will you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Aria. I currently am just pretty common looking. I'm a little medium sized. I have dark hair. I'm pretty pale. Just wearing some nondescript clothes. Yeah, I used to work nearby Cookie and go in and hang out with and eat at his restaurant somewhat often.
Awesome. That's pretty much what you immediately recognize in your area. I would like you to actually go ahead and make a perception check for me. So the first roll of the campaign, go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
Go.
Use my giant.
No pressure.
Oh, that was pretty terrible, guys. So that is 9 plus 4, so 13.
13? Yeah, that's approximately what you see. There's a
Okay.
little bit of action more up towards the far end of the room. Here's a little bit of a map of kind of what our characters are looking at. It is a little bit of a rectangular place of what they can see. There are almost building-like structures in the middle of this brig of this giant vessel that they're on. And beyond it, our characters are looking forward, and they're all kind of either preparing their stuff, or a lot of these different workers, as the ship calls it, are heading just toward their respective looking building shapes that you see. There's a little bit of commotion heading over towards the steam area. Kind of seem like a little bit of the guards are on alert, but you're not exactly sure what's going on.
Okay. Do I know where to go? Like, I heard my name, but are there signs? Like,
Yes, so if you can kind of see to your right, directly to your right, you see a sign that says Balls in Dining Hall, which is like you would assume is the main cafeteria area. But you don't happen to see where your Steamworks sign is. I mean, I did say you did see that there is a Steamworks area up ahead, so you are aware of kind of people that you know are heading in that direction.
okay. I, not wanting to cause alarm, I'm going to just slowly start walking towards where I think I'm supposed to go.
Okay. What are you doing at this moment, Cookie?
So I believe I had to go to the coal yard, so I'm looking around trying to find, whatever whatever looks like it would lead to that. Is there something that, workers covered in coal? Is there some sort of indicator? I'm looking around.
Right. Just offhand with your just passive perception of like 13, you kind of see you see like a door off to the side, kind of where Farwain was looking down on you guys from his announcer area. There is a small doorway, and you notice a friend of yours that you had met briefly in Farrich, Evelyn, heading towards the coalyard direction. Evelyn, would you like to describe yourself for us?
Evelyn is this elven figure. You probably wouldn't see a ton of her. It seems that like every inch of skin she can cover is covered to the point where her pointed ears are kind of wrapped up with this cloth to protect them. Just got a scarf up over her head. Kind of medium blue hair. Seems to be squinting around up at the guards, and she has on her back like a sheath or a sword, but there seems to be it looks like a parasol sticking out of it.
Awesome. So that's all you immediately recognize, Cookie, at the moment. Is there anything you would like to do?
Yeah, I'll start heading that way, lumbering over slowly, not making any rush. I'm still trying to take this whole new experience in, as we're here unwillingly. So yeah.
Is there anything you would like to do, Aria?
I remember meeting Val in my cell, and we kind of walked out. I was right behind her. I know that I heard that she was going to be going to the dining hall. Can I just ask her where is the Steamworks, where I'm supposed to be heading?
Yeah, so Val is this gorgeous-looking human donning some very, very nice clothing. Kind of strange to be a prisoner with all of this fancy jewelry and things like that on. This is the individual that you see for that. Val and you met previously, but she looks over to you kind of like doesn't really know if she wants to be seen in public with you yet. Just kind of like nods at your remark and was kind of glances over towards one of the buildings that are marked to see like a little bit of a crowd head off around the building and to the right in the back corner of the room, and Val kind of nudges her head that way and slyly quickly looks around to see if anyone noticed her acknowledge you.
All right. I just do a quick nod and like kind of keep my head down and start heading off that way to not alert anybody, because I wasn't wanting her to be upset with me.
About this time when you're heading down that hallway, you see that people are majorly herding to the right, but you see an individual dart off to the left. You recognize this individual. It is Barabbas, one of your people that you'd worked for a little bit in his steel repair shop. He is seemingly darting off towards what looks to be a large double door that has a big sigil right set into the middle of it. You can hear some of the guards kind of discussing up above. Hey, what is that person doing down there? And a couple guards that are over by the Steamworks head over towards where that gate is to intercept him. Is there anything you would like to do?
Can I try to run up there and get to him before they intercept it?
Yeah, you're a good 30 or so feet ahead of these guards. So you can if you'd like to make an effort to do that, you can. Is there anything you say or do?
I want to call out his name, Barabbas. Just try to get his attention and run up to him, since this is the first time I've seen him since we've been put on board.
Right. He seemingly is on a mission. He's ignoring you, and he's heading straight for this giant-looking shield sigil that's been placed on these gates. If you would like to, you can try to intervene, but he is basically dashing all the way towards that gate, because he notices there's no guards near that gate at all.
I'd like to try to intercept if I can.
By running?
Yes.
Okay. You are we'll say about like 30 or so feet behind him as he runs up to grab this sigil on the gate, and he starts to pull it, and you hear, "Ah!" And you see him and fall over backwards. Immediately, you hear 3 or 4 guards from above go, "No! He touched it! Everyone, get down there! Get on him!" And you see 2 guards, as you are frozen in your tracks as this individual falls down backwards, run over to Barabbas. Is there anything you guys would like to do in response to this? Almost everyone sees this, except for, I believe, anyone who already head to the courtyard or the coal yard, which was Evelyn. Evelyn, you heard this. You hear a large amount of commotion on the other side of the coal yard.
I'm gonna keep trying to get close to him, but I'll stay behind the guards because I don't want to get in their way after seeing him just fall down, and I'm not sure what's going on.
I'm going to stay sleeking in the back, just kind of watching everything that's going on.
I feel like seeing the sigil and seeing him fall back. Do I have any sense of what may have happened to him?
Go ahead
Can
and
I
make
try
an
to
Arcana check for me, please.
Okay. Oh, that was pretty good. 19 plus 2, 21.
Awesome. You know of the visual effects that enchantments typically have on items, and so you've noticed that this giant sigil that was in place on the end of this item is now gone. So whatever Barabbas did to interact with it or touch it, removed it. You're not entirely sure what a magical essence was on that sigil, but you now know that it is no longer active or no longer on.
Okay. I'd love to kind of look like I'm moving towards where I'm supposed to be in the Steamworks, but watch what's happening.
Okay. So if you're keeping your distance, Aria, and the two guards rush over and assess this Barabbas, they kind of look over him and look over his body, and they kind of shake their heads and go, it's usually the new ones. It's usually the new ones. And at this time, the two guards above them kind of slouch down a little bit and notice it, and they turn around and dip out of sight. And you hear, and you see where that sigil was. It was overlapped, these two gates that have now been opened up in between this section area. And there's 2 or 3 guards that are heading up towards the other side of where this gate was, and they immediately starting to work and pick up Barabbas to take him away. Is there anything anyone would like to do at the moment?
Can I run up to the 2 guards that were shaking their heads and be like, "Is he alive? What happened?"
Ma'am, you need to get back.
He's one of my friends. Can you just tell me if he's okay?
Safety protocol says that no one is to try to emerge or enter the guard area, and so we have, enchantments and levels of protection to keep that safety between us. All we could tell you at the moment is that it's not looking good for him.
All right, thank you. And then I'll start heading toward the Steamworks.
So they're carrying Barabbas off, and guards are very eagerly watching everybody as this is happening, and they're not letting anyone get near that whole open area of those gates. This is the first time that A, you've seen emotion by any of these guards or any of these personnel, and B, that you've seen them actually wielding their weapons to try to deter anything from happening. But a moment passes, Barabbas travels through the gates, and the gates are closing behind these individuals. And the guards that came from that area that aren't carrying Barabbas stayed outside where that gate area is. Everyone, return to your stations. You have your job postings for the day. Make sure you go post haste. At this time, Z, can you go ahead and describe your character a little bit and what Z is doing in this moment?
Absolutely. So Ray is very obviously a tiefling, but a very tall one at that. They're about 5'8", but they're made even taller by the heels that they wear, booted heels that they wear. They have sharp features and various scars on their body that's slightly softened by kind of like a suave elegance. They're not ripped, but they're definitely toned. You can definitely see some pecs revealed in their kind of like deep V shirt. Their leather armor fits on them as kind of like a half corset, so they're a little bit stylish, but definitely a little bit on the rougher side. They have long black hair that falls on their shoulders, but it's shaved on one side, with beautiful deep purple skin and black hair with curling black horns that also have cuts and scrapes on it. And they have a demeanor about them that's very okay with being seen and what they are, but they're not trying to catch too much attention as well. They have deep golden eyes, but one eye is covered by a patch, a relatively big patch that's not necessarily big enough to cover the scar underneath, indicating that whatever damaged or took their eye was very violent about it. As of right now, they're just kind of sleeking in the background because they're very much kind of like, don't know anybody here, and are just not okay with being confined in a small space, and a small, strange space. So they're trying to keep quiet and just kind of remain in the background and not cause too much commotion.
Okay, thank you. So at this time, the guards are very enforcive about moving along, getting everyone to their positions. Is anyone resisting this in any way? So they're gonna usher each people in sections off to their different work area. One of the locals kind of leans over to you, Galene, and it's this female with long brown hair and some bangs, and she's in full leather armor, and she leans down to you and she's like, "They're not usually pushy like this. I don't know why they're forcing us to come this right away. We can't even go back to our cells and grab our stuff."
I'll be honest, this whole thing feels quite odd.
Well, what do you mean this whole thing?
Well, did you choose to be on this boat?
I was arrested. I didn't really choose to be arrested.
Yeah, I didn't choose to be on here either.
I mean, that's what happens when you're not good enough and you get caught.
I wasn't arrested.
Oh.
No.
You should probably not tell people that. People are really weary of the guards having workers here. So, if you're a worker, you're not doing very good. She like giggles to herself, and she kind of gets a little bit of space from you. She's not super trusting at the moment.
Looking around, do the people around me all look like, now I'm nervous, criminals?
You see a very strange hodgepodge of different types of people. You see scarred individuals. You see well-off individuals. You see individuals with broken legs. There's a centaur with a broken leg, like hobbling to its post. So there's all stages of life that are all around you guys. Nothing really you can discern just by like the naked eye. Maybe you had to ask a little bit more or dig a little bit deeper to get that kind of information.
Okay. But they all look like they came from land, like they lived on land.
Yes, yeah. All of them have some sort of appearance of like being part of an organization or a citizenship at some point. None of them look like completely disheveled or of a wild nature that might have been picked up from an island or something like that. None have that forward appearance.
Okay. I'll follow, but I'm definitely kind of keeping my distance.
All right. We're going to start off with the steamworks. So, any individual who's heading to the steamworks, it looks very much so like a mirage of pipes. You walk in and you see different layers of color-coded piping. It's a little bit dizzying because it doesn't look like there's a very clear system to this, but whoever built this intended for people to get in between these pipes. To your left, when you first enter this room, the room feels a little bit like maybe 100 feet by 50 feet. And there's a tray that has an assortment of tools that are all very evenly placed on a plate to your left. And each worker that walks in grabs the very far end tool, whatever that far end tool is, one at a time. They each are starting to pick up different tools. If just by the glance of your eye, you see things like a wrench, what seems to be some sort of like adhesive in a pot, and some sort of like an electrical connector node. If you would like to follow the line and grab as everyone else is, you may, or if you'd like to try to grab for one, you may as well. This is for both Galene, Aria, and Ray. If Ray joined the fray.
Ray definitely stayed in the back to keep like observing things, just to kind of be like the last person to have to make a decision.
Okay. Eventually, you'll hear a little bit of a huff of a guard, kind of eagerly like needing you to go forward.
just going to kind of like just slyly glance at them, just letting them know I'm not too happy to be here.
They nod their head and shake their head to themselves. Newbies.
Choose not to say anything, and then like I keep following the crowd.
All right. What would you guys like to grab? Are you guys going to follow the go with the flow, or are you going to try to grab specifically for something?
I'm just going to grab what's in line, depending on where I am in the fray that I've been swept into.
Okay, so Aria's just grabbing.
I have no business touching any of these tools. I only know like blades, and that's about it. So I'm going to follow the line.
I don't think I recognize any of these tools. So I'll pick up the tool it looks like I'm supposed to, and then immediately start trying to find someone who has a similar tool. I'm holding it like.
All right. So yes. So each of you happen to all get wrenches. So you're all wrenchers for this. How this is going to work is each job is sectioned off by a time, and there are seemingly guards that are not wielding any weapons that kind of monitor the system. You can see where there's. I sent you guys a picture where there's stars, and they're shouting out certain commands for certain types of individuals to do things. Quickly, one of the guards kind of notices you guys looking a little bit lost and announces, "This is the Steamworks. The whole goal of this is to moderate how much energy is going at a certain time throughout the entirety of the boat. The entire the system of the boat relies on you guys ensuring that everything is performed properly. So we'll be giving out commands, and all you guys do is simply have to follow them." There seems to be like one furnace area that nobody's going to, and there's many color-coded pipes that everybody's going to. So quickly, kind of how this is going to work is each one of you has a choice of three things: to do the work, to fake the work, or to sneak away. So we're going to start off with Aria. Would you like to do the work, fake the work, or sneak away?
Aria is pretty familiar with wrenches and just working with tools since she worked for Barabbas at the repair shop. So she's just going to just do the work and try to keep an eye out for what's going on, and keep an eye on the other people around her, since this is something she's familiar with. It shouldn't be too hard for her to do this and be perceptive of what's going on around her.
Yeah, there's definitely like when one succeeds, everyone succeeds kind of mindset, very quickly adapting in this area. So nobody's shy to immediately be like, "Hey, you need to be doing this. Like, hold on. Like, make sure you're going," kind of thing. So people are very willing to help you. It's just a barrage of people, so you guys don't really have a second to digest who is all around you at the moment. So go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me as the heat starts to build in the steam room.
Right.
Ray, what would you like to do?
I think I'm going to go with the flow, but I kind of want to use my mage hand legerdemain to kind of like shuffle around like a guard's pocket and see what I can find.
Okay.
I got a 14 for my con save.
14? Okay, thank you. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check for me, please.
Okay. 14.
14? Okay. What you find in there is not a whole lot of substantial items. You can through your mage hand that there are a lot of small things. Would you like to take them?
I would like to take them.
Taking them? They're in the hand. You're just going to bring it straight back to you because it's going to look like a floating item.
Oh, no. I'm going to let my hand kind of stay in the coat of the guard, just to kind of like hover there until I can find a chance to pass him, and it goes into my pocket.
It goes in your pocket? Okay.
Yeah.
That was pretty clever. Yeah, that goes through. You're good with that. You want to look at what you got?
Yeah, I want to see what I got. What do I got?
You got like 5 little individually wrapped candies in your pocket. You don't know what flavor they are yet, but you do know that they're little individual labeled candies.
It's pretty good.
Okay, all right. So a little bit of energy, but this makes me not want to take these guards seriously in any manner.
When you went through kind of the guards' like coat and like pockets of their armor, it seemed like the clothing was more fabric than actual armor material, which is strange because they're presenting a very big and boisterous armor plating that they're wearing. you
Interesting.
you know how much your mage hand can press and move, and you were very like focused on this, and you watched it just very easily move.
Okay, so this definitely reinforces that there's just something weird going on here. Okay,
Will you
so
go ahead, if you're going to go with the flow, will you make a Constitution saving throw for me?
Constitution saving throw.
D20 plus
I
your
get
Constitution save.
11.
11. Okay, thank you.
Hmm.
And Galene, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna look like I'm working, but really just try to get everyone to do it for me. Like, wait, so how do I hold it? I've never done this before.
Yeah, this is a looks like a pretty tough task that everyone's doing around you, and you can kind of clock that, Ray. You are pretty good with looking past a little bit of an act and a facade. And you notice that this individual over here is not really working as hard as everyone else is. Go ahead and make a performance check for me, Galene.
Okay, this should be good, but we'll see if I roll really poorly. Oh, it's not terrible. 16.
16. Okay. All right. We're gonna pause right there, and we're gonna zoom back over to the coal yard. So Cookie and Evelyn, as you guys are walking through this seemingly very tall part of this establishment that's in front of you, you can see very quickly that there's a bunch of little circles that are interplaced throughout the
Can I do something before we leave that main room?
Yes, yeah.
Sorry.
You're fine.
When I was in jail and I was talking to Ren through the window, he had that armor. Does that armor that they stole look anything like these armors?
It is exactly the same.
Up here is exactly the same? Okay.
When they were putting it on, it was like putting on a robe.
Okay. So as I'm walking, I'm kind of do this thing we did in school where we scratch behind our ear with our middle finger like we're flipping each other off, what we did in class, kind of like a signal that they know. Mm-hmm. See if I get any response.
Are you trying to look for any like guards responding?
Yeah, I'm looking for anyone who would like mimic that.
Go ahead and make a
because Ren would know that sign from. Ooh. 18.
18. I mean, all of the guards that are in the same color clothing that Ren got into, they're all hooded, so it's very, very difficult to see if there's any sign of recognition. No guard is overtly doing the same thing that you're doing back.
Okay, bummer. All right, I'll go to work now, I guess.
Yeah, so you're walking in, and I went and posted what it looks like, and you guys are probably a little bit towards the back because you're not familiar with what's going on. You're trying to watch everyone else. People are running to certain stations. They're skipping one of them. They're going down to the corner of one of them. They're going to the section over here, and they're avoiding certain ones. What would you guys like to do? There's no tools immediately handed to you guys.
I'm gonna run.
I'm gonna go to the one where no one else is.
Okay. So looking at the sheet, there's just a engine 2 where everyone seems to be kind of avoiding it a little bit.
All right, I'll go straight for that one.
Okay. And where are you running to, Evelyn?
Where the other people are going. The best work spot.
There are
which is the best.
You see Tabaxi running all the way to the end at looks to be engine 4, all the way to the end. There's a big label on engine 4. You're pretty fast, so you can probably catch up with the Tabaxi.
I'll book it.
Put
engine 4
there, and the Tabaxi like nods at you that like you ran back here with him and hands you a shovel like pretty quickly.
Nice. Okay.
He like stands like up against the engine and is like guarding the engine pretty much with him and the shovel here.
All right, I will stand next to them,
nice.
And
So
I'm also guarding this engine.
Cookie, you notice that there's just a shovel kind of like leaning up against engine 2. You notice everyone else is grabbing shovels. What would you like to do?
I'll grab a shovel. Is there anyone around me at this engine 2 here?
No.
I'm by myself at engine 2. Okay. I'll grab a shovel then.
Okay. Over you guys, you look up, and there's large pipe networks coming from each one of these engines, and the same 100 and 20-ish feet, there's that guardrail that was very, very similar to the previous guardrail that was around the main area. And there are guards symbolized by stars looking down at you guys from there. And one of the guards announces, "You guys have the simple job today. When the whistle blows, you start shoveling coal." And just immediately goes back to whatever they were doing. I think they were reading a book. I think they just started to open up and started reading a book right away. Same thing for you guys. You guys have 3 options. Would you like to do the work, fake the work, or sneak away? We're going to start with Cookie.
Let's see. Cookie's not really happy about being here. Cookie's, one of the more of a free spirit. Always has lived life as he wanted to, and never really had, in recent times to just follow along. So I'm gonna try to sneak away.
You're gonna try to sneak
See
away?
how we.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
Ooh yeah, I got a nice hot -1 for this one. So let's see how this goes. Ooh, nat 20.
Nat 20.
Wait,
Let's go. First nat 20.
It's the first one of the
20.
campaign.
Which comes out to a 19.
19,
Good.
that's right.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Right.
Best case scenario.
Best case scenario.
Now, I hate to do this, but do you have heavy armor on by any chance?
I do not. I
Okay.
believe I have medium. Or let's see. Let me just double check real quick. Or maybe light. It's light.
Okay, you're good.
No, it's medium.
Medium?
Sorry.
Okay, you're good. Right. Your rustic look blends in very well with a lot of this machinery that's around you. And nobody's used to you being an automaton, because looking around, you were pretty adamantly noticing that you stand out a little bit. There's no one really here that's an automaton that you can see at the moment. So you very easily kind of blend in with the machine, and you notice this machine is getting really hot, like immediately, and everyone else is kind of relaxed. So it's probably good that you snuck away a little bit, and you're off into the corner of the room. The doors have closed, so we'll just say, since you got a nat 20, you waited for an opportune time where a guard rushed through where you can get yourself out. We'll return to you in a second. Evelyn, what would you like to do?
I'm going to do the work. I do not want to get in trouble.
The individual that you're working with leans over to you and is like, "Hey, my name's Ingo. It's good that you're doing the work. They pay a lot of attention here. We're very important."
What happens if we don't do the work?
Oh, they get mad.
Lovely.
That's it.
And then what?
Well,
They're just...
I do work. I'm good.
Yes, of course. I'm Evelyn. I
Evelyn,
didn't
nice
say.
to meet you.
I'm just curious about what would happen to us if we don't do this work. Like, do we just disappear, or...
I mean, I've seen
Beat us
people
up.
disappear and they get physical punishment, or they take things from them, but I never do that because I'm good. I'm good. And as he scoops down, you notice one of his hands is really, really close to the coal. And when he scoops it up, he puts a bunch of coal in the shovel, and then some of the coal in his hand, and then shoves the coal into the machine. And then when he comes back, he drops it into a pouch that's open in his chest. So he's slowly building a little reserve of coal that's in his pouch. Go ahead and make
Valuable?
What?
Oh, I was asking, is this stuff valuable?
He said, "What stuff?"
The coal.
I mean, it's coal.
That's a bummer. We're going to have a bad time. Constitution?
Yes.
Just a check or a save?
Saving throw.
Saving. Okay, 6.
6. All right. So, Evelyn, Aria, and Ray, you all have 1 point of exhaustion.
Bummer. Okay.
Galene, you got off work free. Everyone seems to be getting along with you and enjoying your presence as they're trying to work. Cookie, you find yourself outside in the hall, where there is little to no guard presence in the area. Kind of keeping track of where guards are allocated at certain times, you've noticed that there's been a shift since the work time started. What would you like to do?
I want to move towards the... Let's see. I just sort of want to like get a gauge of like everything going on. So there's not a lot of guards on, or in the main area right now.
There's
Are the
noises.
other areas closed off by doorways, like so they're totally shut, or they're
There are doors to each of the halls, for example,
Mhm.
or the balls and dining hall, where as the cafeteria that someone had mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
And then there's the social yard that's off to the side. Nobody seems to be moving around the social yard at all.
Okay? Are there people in the social yard?
Um, Strange that you say that. Looking through one of the windows of the social yard, you can see an individual kind of moving something around in there.
All right, I'll try to make my way in there.
Okay. Heading your way in there is no issue. You glance around and there's no guards in the open foyer area, on the floor level or up in the catwalks. Heading into the actual social yard, I'm going to post what it looks like for you.
Okay.
And you see an individual standing, not where the stars are. Where the stars are, you would see it looks like kind of like almost like a, what are those called? Turrets on castles where guards would be posted. There's a lot of tables to your left when you first walk in, kind of cafeteria style table looking places. And then to your right, there seems to be gym equipment and 2 large fighting rings on the other side of the gym equipment. Directly to your right, you see something called the market. There's a sign on it and there's a door called the market. The individual that you had seen through the window was walking towards and trying to get into the market area. If you don't intervene, they'll probably just head right in. You can't really tell
All right.
exactly what they look like at the moment.
I'm gonna try to walk up behind them and grapple them
Would you like to do that stealthily, or are you going to rush
if
them?
they don't. I guess maybe I'd have to do a stealth check or something there if I'm trying to sneak up on them.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sneak up on them and grapple them.
Go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
All right. All right, my luck is probably not going to be quite as good. 18 -1 is 17.
17.
This is as stealthy as my character is ever going to get.
The individual
love that
does
for you.
not react. This is what they look like from the backside. You notice that they have almost like a violin attached to their back, almost sheathed, and they're holding what looks to be the actual bow to the violin.
Okay.
You run up and you grapple this individual.
Yeah, I'll grapple them to the ground.
You grapple them to the ground, and they kind of like shift with seeing you grapple them, and you're face to face with this individual. He looks at you and goes, "Don't say anything. Shh. What do you want?"
What are you doing here, lad? What is this place? Where are we?
Well, hold on. Wait, too many questions. What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
All right. First off, how long you been here?
I don't know. I keep my markings on the wall of my cell. Why does that matter?
Well, you've been here long enough to have markings, so it's more than a 1 day apparently. All right. So
Obviously, you're new here because you wouldn't be doing this to me if you knew.
if I do what? What's gonna happen to me here?
If you knew about me, I'm a pretty big deal. I've got one of the only instruments that are here, and like everybody loves me.
Listen here, foul bard. I don't need to hear this nonsense of high talking Nancy Pansy stuff. I just need information.
Well, then ask away, because apparently
All right.
I can't move in your giant metal arms.
All right. Are you with these guards here?
That was the only question I don't like to answer. So I'm gonna say no.
All right. Well, then I guess you're gonna keep my arm right on your neck here until you answer the rest of me questions. I was
Go
thinking
make an
about being nice.
intimidation check for me, please.
All right. This is 17.
17.
Mhm.
Okay. You can see him kind of relax a little bit in your arms. It just kind of lets you just like hold him there. He's kind of embarrassed, just kind of like looking at you. All right. What did you want?
All right. What's up with this market here? Why are you going over here?
This is Grayson's market. He allows trade for anything that people need inside of the prison. I mean, workers. Sorry.
Prison.
At this time, you hear the door, like you guys, your heads are like right up against this door of this person's market, and you hear the door open, and you hear above your head, kind of laughing to.
All right, I'll look up and take a gander at who's
You see
looking
this
at us.
very, very like, suave dressed blue tiefling, kind of like leaning up against the doorway, kind of looking down at you. Oh, Barnabas, you got yourself a new little friend. Shut up. Do you want to help me or not? He's like, no, I'm not gonna help you. What's going on here? He's asking you.
Well, I'm new here, and I was just trying to get some information from this lad here. And
Well, if you've made it out here, then you're a friend of mine. So go and come on in.
I'll let Barnabas. Up?
He addressed the individual that you're grappling as Barnabas. Yes.
Barnabas. All right, I'll let Barnabas up and sort of just shove him in ahead of me into this market.
That's where I was going anyway. You don't have to push me. The blue tiefling closes the door behind him and kind of leans his back up against the door. I want one question first. I'm very curious. What are you doing here while everyone's working? Do you not have to work like us?
Working's for suckers, so I decided that I'm not gonna do it.
Okay. What do you like to know?
All right. So what's the deal with this ship? Who's put us here, and why?
Those are like what is God questions. I don't have a whole lot of answers for you, my friend. We don't know, but we work for this beautiful boat.
I see. And so you're saying is you've got a cushy job here in the market, and you don't worry about what the rest of us are doing.
Oh man, you guys are asking all the hard questions. I do care about what you guys are doing because it's good for my business. But the guards and I have an understanding that as long as I work this place, that I'm good. I don't have to go do other work. And Barnabas here is, let's just say he's important. So he doesn't have to work that often.
All right.
Barnabas is like kind of scowling at you from like the edge of the bar. There's like once you head into this main market area, it's called the market, or I think it's called like the market. It's just a long bar. It's just a really, really long bar with no chairs. And along the long bar, you see very, very small items kind of very neatly placed along the bar. Just glance, with your passive perception, you see things like decks of cards, little like a jar that holds some dice. Like you see like a shiv that's just straight up laying on the counter, just like down the way.
I have a shiv, right? I woke up with one. Okay. Let's see. All right. I'll just sort of shake my fist at Barnabas a little, and I'll ask, what's your name, Tiefling?
Where's my manners? I'm Grayson.
Grayson.
Sticks out his hand as he's like cupping like a small little treasure chest underneath his arm.
Mm-hmm. I'll shake Grayson's hand and say, "Oh, I'm Cookie Ironsides, and pleasure to meet you. Has anyone ever escaped the ship here?"
People come and go, but only when we dock. So escape, I would say no.
All right. And how long do y'all usually last at port here? Are we to get underway soon?
Well, I heard a warning saying that we're already on our way. So I think we're about a day's travel out of port, and we're heading towards... You did not like that. We're heading up north. We're heading up to the Empire.
Oh, the Empire. All right. Well, I suppose it's best if we have a drink. Shall we sit down and have a drink?
Okay. Where's the drink?
There's no drinks here?
No.
At a bar?
This isn't the bar. Do you even
What kind of
drink?
place is this? Not really. It actually provides no sustenance, and I can't get drunk. But I just like to keep my hands busy while I'm talking.
He hands you like an empty glass.
Perfect. This'll do. I'll just mimic it. And so Cookie just starts mimicking, sipping on a little drink. Yes,
About this time, you hear like activity from outside the market area, and Barnabas kind of like notices it and kind of slumps back behind the bar and hides behind the bar.
All right. I'll just sort of make my way back there with Barnabas and crouch down.
Okay. You crouch down, and some guards kind of pop their head in. They open up the door a little bit and pop their head in, and they go, "Hey, Grayson, we're going to release them for lunch soon, just to let you know if anyone wants to come in here. There's some new people on the boat, and they're a little bit rowdy, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to find their way in here at some point." And Grayson kind of kicks you underneath the desk and goes, "Oh, I'll be on the lookout." The guards head out, and they close the door, and Barnabas, like, puts his head back up on the bar and is, like, looking at you and goes, "You're already stirring up things, huh? You're already stirring up things."
Yeah. So, let's see. I'm new here, so what advice would you give to a newcomer that wants to survive on this ship here?
Make friends quick. Simple as that. You got a silver tongue? Use it.
Sounds good. Don't...
You're already clever enough to find your way out here, so, I wouldn't mind being your friend. And he kind of, holds out a trinket and, flashes it, but puts it in his hand very quickly. And then puts it back in his pocket.
All right.
Expect it that you would know what that means.
Okay. What's that trinket you got there?
I think you need a little bit more time on this boat before I tell you anything.
All right. Well, I'll be willing to do you some favors for information, if you'd be so willing. So,
Offer away. I am one to take offers. And Grayson kind of looks over and goes, "That's literally my job." And Barnabas shakes his head. "If you have anything, I would love to hear it. But it seems like you've only been here for a day, so I wouldn't know." About this time, you hear that vibrates the walls. The things shift on the table that you guys are standing at, and you see Grayson kind of look down and go, move it back into its little respective cloth that it's sitting on. At this time, you start hearing footsteps coming from outside. Evelyn, very quickly, you see Ingo look at a shovel and keep it, and then start to head towards the door. He's like, "Come on."
I need to keep my shovel?
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
And he runs over with you, and there's a post on the wall of almost where you would hang up swords, and in the coal room there's numbers on the wall, and he very quickly puts his shovel in the respective number that you guys were at for the engine. I think it was engine 4, I believe. And kind of gestures for you to do it quickly while other people are putting up their shovels.
I will put up my shovel.
He as he's putting up his shovel, he's noticing there's a shovel on the floor, a little bit away, and shuffles over, grabs it, and moves it over and puts it on 2. He puts it on the mount for 2, and then runs out.
Do I see Cookie around?
You do not.
Because I saw him come in with me, but he's not here. Okay.
Yeah, with your passive perception, you would notice Cookie because you're familiar with him, and you would not see him anywhere. About this time, the steam room, it's so loud and so hot inside of the steam room that literally someone comes by and starts going up against the main engine that's in that room, and everyone starts to head towards the door because they can kind of hear that vibration of someone smacking up against the engine. You probably pretty much follow suit with everybody because you're all tightly working together with each other, and everyone's heading out into the main floor towards the Balzan dining hall. Is there anything you guys would like to do as this movement's happening?
I'd like to the people who were most helpful to me just continue to hang near them and be like, "Wow, you're really strong. Thank you for your help." Is this a break now?
Yeah, so you look up at this this massive individual that you've been working with. He seems to be not only hulking in appearance, but also very gentle in his voice when he's talking to you. He introduces himself as I have to find my notes. He's
Galene's purposely kind of twirling her hair and kind of flips it back behind her.
"My name is Galtia.
Galtia.
This is my favorite part of the day because we get to go eat, and then guess what? We get to eat again later."
Oh, wow. Well, eating and playing music are 2 of my favorite things too.
"I think we're gonna be friends."
I love it. Here, can you help me? I'm pretty new. Will you help me know where to go?
Yeah, well, you could smell the food. It's down the hall. Let's go.
Okay.
Be like hulking.
I'm just gonna like walk behind him.
Yeah, and so you guys are heading down the hall, and the rest of the traffic is ushering everyone that way. You are Cookie at this time. Barnabas kind of like looks at you and goes, "We should probably be seen in the cook hall, so we need to get going while there's traffic moving." And he like quickly darts for the door. Do you follow
I'll just
him, or...
Yeah, I'll follow him out towards the dining hall there.
Awesome. Does anyone else like to do anything else before we head to Balls and Dining Hall?
Yes. So with this candy, I want to try to like look to the person next to me because I figure there's somebody that's working next to me and kind of like lightly offer them a little bit to kind of see if I can like kind of like create a bond.
It is Kinley. Kinley is working next to you, and you met Kinley because she is your sister mate. Would you still?
Was she the one in the cell next to me?
Yes.
Okay, Kinley. So I look over to Kinley, and I nod at her, and I give her the candy. I was just like, "Hey, thanks for figuring out what that weird ring was saying earlier."
She like takes it from you sheepishly and kind of looks at it and goes, "Yeah, you're pretty clever. This is one of the guards' candies." And like puts it in her pocket.
I didn't say any of that.
I know you didn't, but I know what this looks like.
How would you know?
Don't be seen with it.
Okay. Well, I think we have an understanding here. Do you think you could tell me a little bit more about what's going on in the ship?
She like reaches from a different pocket that she didn't put the candy in from, and opens up another candy and starts to eat it. She's like, as much as I know about this boat is they typically just get workers to work off their crime, their debt, and I'm here to work off my crime. I was caught pretty early in my scheme, so I think I'm free after I get back to the Empire.
We're going to the Empire?
Yeah, we're heading up north.
But isn't that 20 days?
I mean, yeah, it's about 20 days from now. Our boat can travel normal speeds regardless of its size. I've only been on it for one trip.
One trip?
Yeah, from the Empire to here. Well, I feel like it was the Empire. It might have not been the Empire, but that's where they moved me after I got thrown in jail.
So is every day just working? Do we go back to our cells?
We have time after work. Like, I gamble, usually. That's what I use these candies for. It's very, very expensive for other people. Like, there's some individuals, for example, I usually try to give this to I usually try to give this to Galtia because Galtia loves food and usually can bully people into giving him stuff that he trades away for food. So I try to give it to Galtia as whenever I can.
That's a good tip.
That's what I do for fun, and I get pretty good trips. Like, I've stashed away a couple pretty good items that I enjoy that I am excited to have after I get off this boat. This is all along the way of you guys walking towards the Balls and Dining Hall.
So dining hall, huh? Does everybody just get to free reign around here?
Oh, there's a line and people work it, and it's like a cafeteria. There's some seats and stuff. People kind of cliquey around here. They're only sitting certain seats around the room.
I don't do clicks.
Well, then you'll do fine with us. Which, ironically, is a click.
Damn it.
Opening up into this foyer, Aria, do you follow along?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow along. Was there anybody that I would have been working like next to that I might have, been able to chat with just to kind of?
Oh yeah, for sure. You were in the steam room as well, right? Yeah.
Yes.
You were really sucking wind though. It was tough for you. Like, you feel physically like exhausted from this, even though you're a good worker and you've worked with this type of machinery before. It still really is like aching to your bone in just this one session. Around you, you had Kinley on one side of you, and then just beyond Kinley, a Tiefling individual that they were working with. You were working pretty close with those two individuals, and they're walking in front of you towards the Balls and Dining Hall, kind of leaving you alone.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna. I'll stay like right behind them and maybe just try to listen as I'm walking.
Yeah, you hear some discussion about like trading and gambling and the boats heading to the Empire. That's about as much as you pick up, unless you're really leaning in. Are you trying to hear everything?
I think I'm okay. I think I'm just also trying to just be aware of like who else is funneling in to see if there's anybody else I might recognize.
Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. I got a 19.
19. You notice that a individual in like a black robe with some, I believe, brown hair, female in appearance, human, is watching is watching Ray and Kinley talking very closely. They're like, she's like very like adamant and like studying them as they're communicating with one another. But other than that, that's kind of what stood out to you, really. You did notice Cookie heading from one of the across the hallway areas, like blending in with the crowd, heading towards the dining facility. You still have no sight of Barabbas anywhere.
Okay. I think as I'm going in, if I see Cookie, I'll probably gravitate toward him since we know each other.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Heading into this facility. Did I go ahead and send that to you guys yet? Yeah. Heading into this facility, there are 3 major groupings of tables very close to each other with seats all facing inward in the little area. And there is a separate little, almost like a cubby that you have to walk into to gather all of your food and to come out. This place is very heavily guarded. There are guards seemingly on every single corner of this pentagon. And the workers that are behind it, you are familiar with. One of those workers is Val. That is like, she has like a hairnet on, and she's serving food to people. Everyone else is kind of shuffling along with their respective people that they were working with into this area. All it is you just go through the line, and they're going to fill up your plate with various types of food. It actually is decent food. It's not like the classic slob style that you'd see slashed down onto your plate in the Hollywood movies and things like that. You have like your serving of vegetables, your like still intact structurally meatloaf like on there as well. You even have like a cookie that looks like not really sure what type of cookie it is, but it's on your plate as well. And you have like a glass, like a large glass jug of water at the end as well that they're grabbing, and some people are frantically drinking from their days of work. If you guys would like to do anything during this, you may. Otherwise, they're just going to usher you into getting the food and out into the open courtyard where you guys can get to make your decision of what you'd like to do.
Are there like actual like forks and knives on these plates, or it's all like flimsy stuff?
That's a good question. There is completely normal silverware and completely normal plates. Everything almost seems to be like in good quality too. Nothing's damaged. Nothing's like gross.
Okay, I'm going to try to pocket the knife, even though I'm pretty well armed, because I don't like that there's other well armed people around me.
Okay, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. Yeah, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
3.
You walked in with Kinley?
Kinley, yeah.
Kinley kind of like takes your hand gingerly as you're doing that and like guides you along the way, and she's like literally just like staring at one of the workers, and the worker's staring back at you like this. The worker seems to be a very large orc figure with battle armor on and a hairnet, just like staring at you. There's like a giant war hammer on this individual's back, just like staring at you.
Just look at them and just go, good day. I was just trying to get an itch. And just kind of start like itching at my armpit with the knife.
You new people will learn soon enough. And like Kinley's like dragging you along to try to go through the line. Yeah, so Kinley's gonna gather you out into the main hallway. She kind of like glances at you and is kind of like, all right, I've already got you under my wing. Let's kind of continue this on. And she pulls you to one of the group 1 areas. Feel free to follow her if you want. That's where she's tugging you to.
Okay, I'll follow her because clearly I have yet to understand what's going on.
What would everyone else like to do?
As I'm walking, I want to make sure as many people as possible can see my flute that's like kind of draped across, just like sort of,
You do catch
Very
a lot of
flashy,
eyes.
very showy. Get my food and then just continue to follow Galtia.
Yeah, you do catch a lot of eyes. You feel that, that usual feeling of like, burning on your shoulders.
I
and
love
your back
it.
of your
I'm just gonna
head.
keep smiling.
At this time, you notice a very boisterous individual come through the front doors area pretty late as you're walking out with your food, and he is scowling at you. He's burning a hole through your face as he is holding a violin bow in his hand, like clenching it really hard.
I'm gonna look right at him, blow a kiss, and then keep walking with my
He
friend.
swipes at it, and when he swipes at it, a small dagger extends from the bow handle, and he goes and puts it back in real quick and kind of joins everybody in line. Would anyone else like to do anything?
Where does? Go ahead.
Okay, I'll go ahead. Do I witness these reactions? So do I finally see Cookie? Because Cookie was the one few people that I saw on the docks before.
Yeah, so Cookie was escorted, well, not escorted, but was in front of Barabbas when they came into the front door. So Cookie was already heading over towards the end of the line when you're heading towards your table with your food.
Okay.
You do clock him, but he's pretty far away, joining everybody in line.
Okay, I'll just keep my eye on him. Just keep taking in the environment.
Yeah.
Would I have seen the bard interaction?
The bard off.
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me. You're probably in the little cubby area at this point where the line is.
I'm not trying to hide myself.
Yeah. Did you say perception?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I got a nat 20 on this one. Not that I think that was that.
Let's go.
I saw the bard off.
That's great. As you also catch a couple other things. Not only are the guards kind of clocking this interaction between the two apparently barred off that's going on.
I'm just blowing kisses to people. It's fine.
But they are looking very hard at Galene and ignoring Barabbas, and that to you feels a little strange. And you also see there is a tabaxi that is in line, just right behind you. He knocks one of the glass of water over, and it catches your attention, and you notice, and it looks like he has another plate of food in this little pouch that he has, quickly shoved it in there and then grabbed the plate that was being served to him. So it looks like there was an additional plate that he was able to stash away somehow. But that's all you get with your natural 20. So you do see the bard off. You do.
Okay.
It's all him. I don't know.
Okay. Do I also see Cookie, I guess, is my other question. Because I saw him when I was walking in, since he was at the beginning of the line, I believe, would I see where he would have sat down if he sat down already?
You would be ahead of him in line because him and Barabbas came pretty late. So you actually, as you're coming out, he is the only one popping out of the doorway straight on the other side of the room from you. So if you'd like to, this would be a time that maybe Cookie might be looking around. You could try to flag him down if you'd like. People will
I think I would do that since he's probably the only one I really know.
Okay. It's pretty easy for you to notice with your passive perception, Cookie, and you recognize Aria.
Right.
A couple other people look your way when you flag Cookie down. They're just very people sitting at the tables.
I'll just make a motion to Aria that I'm gonna meet up with her after I get my food and I'd do the eyes thing on the bard, I'm keeping an eye on him, and follow Barabbas and follow Barabbas.
Line right behind you and goes, "There's another one." She has a flute that's fine, but there's never room for two.
I want to see if they'll serve me. I don't know if they know that I don't eat, but I want to try to get a meal.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway,
you go through the line and they serve you. The world is very aware of automatons, and for you to just go through the motions, it seems like they respect that in a sense of you want to be with the motions, you want to blend in. So they're it's people that are your peers that are serving you, and so they're very knowingly serving you as you're going through the line. So these individuals, a very nice dressed woman, the orc that you met already in the battle armor acknowledges you as you're getting food going through the line.
Right. That was Uran?
That is Uran, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just go through and get my food and then try to link up with Aria.
Okay. And Evelyn, is there anything you would like to do?
I'll just hang with Ingo as long as they'll deal with me. Where do they sit?
Yeah, Ingo is in front of you. You saw this whole situation, this debacle happen where he almost like elbowed this glass and it shattered on the floor.
Oh, that was Ingo did that.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is tabaxi to some people's point of view, but yeah, Ingo's very much so making a scene at the end of this. And you've already seen Ingo pocket some coal, and he put the food in the same pouch as he put the coal, which is, maybe not.
That's not sanitary.
What do you say?
That's not sanitary.
No, he seems to be on a mission though, and he's quickly putting it away and like shuffling out. So are you gonna follow Ingo to where he sits?
Sure.
He will sit in group 3, which is directly outside of the doors area. As soon as you exit with your food, the individuals that are all around Ingo seem to be a little bit keeping to themselves. They either have like hoods up, or they're injured, and they're not really talking with each other.
Are we still inside the ship?
Yes. Yep. This is all currently.
There's a ceiling over us. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty. This area is a pretty low ceiling compared to the main foyer where it's 150 feet up.
Gotcha.
All right. As about this time, I think the people at the end of the line, like Cookie, it's pretty quick turnaround. So the individuals who were served first had a plenty amount of time, whereas you notice that the guards are eagerly like getting ready for like what you can assume is an alarm going off. Is there anything that anyone would like to do before lunch ends?
So I followed Galtia to sit with him. Who are we sitting with?
Yeah, Galtia looks like he is sitting with. I promise I'll get used to their color coding. Yeah, Galtia's sitting with Kinley and one of the females that is in like a bunch of like witch garment attire. She's got like a black robe and brown hair. Looks like when the giant orc that was in the back serving you food, when he comes out, he has his hairnet off and he has a tray of food as well and joins you guys at that table.
Okay.
I believe Ray is there with you guys as well.
Okay. I'd love to pull a little pouch of salt out and make sure I put a bunch of salt in my water and on my food, and I'll slip my cookie to Galtia.
Okay. Galtia very eagerly like scoots the cookie to him and goes, like, is gesturing like, what, like, why?
Just for your help.
He like smiles and puts it in his pocket like for later, and then continues eating. You notice this because you've already been clocking Galene, Ray, and you notice this interaction as well.
Okay. So I'm sitting here just kind of taking everything all in, but I'm definitely keeping my eye on Galtia since Kinley like mentioned them, and I try to like catch Galtia's attention by like kind of like flashing a candy in his direction and just kind of nodding, just being like, hey, like I got something for you.
Galtia's face is down on the food. You're gonna have to make it a little bit more overt if you want to catch his attention.
Okay, so then I'll use. Wait, can I use the mage hand multiple times? That's a free action, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then I'll use the free action to go ahead and take my mage hand and kind of float the candy in front of him.
Okay.
And I'm just kind of accepting that this table is going to go ahead and see this because I want them to know of like my capabilities. And then I'll quickly, once he sees it, if he sees it, I'll dart the candy back to my hand and just kind of like look at him.
Okay. Pretty loudly, you hear this orc that had sit like on the other side of the table from you go, ha ha, good, and like is looking at you from across the table. And Galti is like watching and kind of goes, ooh, and kind of looks at you. He's like, okay.
Yeah, very much like here to like make a statement with the table of just like, hey, like I can be a player in this.
I'm gonna just look over and smile and be like,
everyone at the table at this interaction, because this orc figure is pretty loud about this. When you look over, after a moment passes and Urang is still looking at you, he like adjusts one of his armor and then goes and like whips like a string almost around his finger and then back into his hand. and then kind of like looks at you and like puts it back underneath his armor.
Oh my gosh.
I'll just kind of look
Do
at
I
him
notice
back.
this too?
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is like the whole time.
Wow.
I'll just kind of try to see, like, appear like I know what I'm doing and just kind of nod at him.
And then you just hear him go, "Hey," and that's it. That's all he says.
I won't say anything back. I'll just simply just nod. Like, I'm trying to not make myself too known and present. I'm just kind of trying to impress people.
Gotcha. At this time, you hear, and all the tray tables like shake on the table as this big alarm happens, and you hear all the guards go, "All right, lunch is over. It's time to get back to work, everybody. Let's go." Everyone quickly grabs their plates and is, gesturing for everyone to go back to work. If you guys would like to do anything out of normal, it moves pretty smoothly. It's just people put their trays back up. The guards watch you put your trays back up. Make sure that there is fork, knife, spoon, plate, glass. And then everyone is very quickly rushing back to the work area. Would anyone like to do anything differently?
Yeah, can I? Is old Barnabas around?
Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay.
It is a rush of people.
That's gonna be a 15.
15. You do not see Barnabas.
Okay.
Yes.
Then I'll just stash whatever food that I can carry that will last, like maybe like the cookie or something in
Make a sleight of
in
hand
the.
check for me. People are all around you. They would
Okay.
they would be looking at the automaton to see what they're gonna do with their plate.
Oh, it was close. It was almost a nat 20, but it was a 13.
13. Okay. Some people look and they nod their head. They're aware. You were sitting with. Did we establish where you were sitting?
Yes.
No. Well, we would be together, but I
You guys
think
were at 1.
We're at 1. Okay.
Right. You had. Yeah. Okay. A young boy notices you. Probably like 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in there with you guys. Very, very sweaty. Very, very, very tired. He was in a coal yard with you guys. I mean, for the brief moment you were in there.
Right. You know what? I'm just gonna give him the cookie.
He like looks around at everyone around him. Are you gonna do it stealthily or very like?
I know. Just here's the cookie.
He does not accept it. He backs away.
I say, what's wrong, lad? What's wrong here?
It's time to work. That's what's wrong. Quit trying to give me food.
All right. I shrug and I just pop the cookie back into my pocket there.
Okay. Some people note that. Some people check that and see you do that. All right.
I would like to also try and stash my cookie for later, the cookie of unknown flavor for later.
It was a very, very delicious raisin cookie. So.
Raisin, okay.
Yeah.
Little raisin.
Did you want to stash it? Is that what you said?
Put it in my coat.
Make a sleight of hand check for me.
6.
6. You pocketed it as best of your ability. Nobody intervened.
But what would they do? It's just a raisin cookie.
Just a raisin cookie. All right.
I would like to kind of shake my hands through my hair and cast prestidigitation, just because like this has been kind of a gross day, and just kind of.
Are you doing that sneakily or are you doing that overtly? Is that the right word?
A little.
Overtly.
Sneakily.
So it has a verbal and somatic. I'll be subtle, but trying to make it look like I'm just brushing through my hair.
Okay, make a performance check for me.
Okay.
Because you're just making this part of your action.
Ooh, that was terrible. 2 + 6, 8.
2 + 6. Who were you sitting? Who were you sitting with?
I was sitting right next to Galtia.
Galtia? Ure is right behind Galtia, and you hear, nice. Just from like behind Galtia.
I'll just throw a wink at him and then keep moving.
He just kind of smiles at you and doesn't do anything.
Do I see her do this?
Out of 6, your passive perception definitely sees this.
It was an 8. It was an 8. It's a +6.
Still,
I rolled a 2.
Yeah, you notice that, and you see the interaction with Urang that it's surprisingly the same reaction to what you did. So.
Yeah. Okay. So noting kind of the characters shining into play. I'm sorry. What
Okay.
does this spell do again?
Oh, it just cleans my hair.
It's like
I
dry
just roll-
shampoo.
I roll my eyes at it and just like scratch my horn and let flakes just kind of fly everywhere.
It was gross, and so I was just trying to fix it.
Yeah, I'm kind of just like mocking you a little bit by scratching like my horn and scratching the flakes off.
I'll
Like,
smile and say, like, if we have free time later, I can help.
just kind of shake my head, just kind of like smirked a little bit, acknowledging that was a cute like response.
I'd like to try to take my cup. Like I'm fine with I've eaten my food and I'm not trying to take food, but I want to take my cup with me.
Your cup is about 2 feet tall. Would you still like to try to get your cup?
2
These
feet
cups-
tall.
Yeah, these cups
tall.
are massive.
Wait.
It's like that's how much water they're trying to get you guys to drink during lunch. Would you still like to try to keep it?
Does that make sense? Stay hydrated.
I don't know where
Getting back up and getting more.
anymore.
No? Okay.
Not big.
That's why.
That's some important information we
Sorry.
didn't have.
That's why Ingo's issue when he knocked it over was a big deal. Like it made a big ruckus because it's massive.
Oh man.
Do we have any like water cups or anything while we're working, or is this? Oh my gosh. Okay. Ugh.
You are feeling it too. Aria, Ray, and Evelyn, you got a little bit of like ick in the back of your brain from that exhaustion of just like working already. You're not used to doing that motion and those style of working, so it's not usual for you. That's why it was so tough, I think.
Yeah, I think I will still try to take that cup, even though it's huge. I have like a really baggy like skirt pant type thing on, and so I don't think I can put it in a bag. But I'll try shoving it like down my skirt.
Up your like skirt half. Okay. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check for me. Yeah.
Oh shoot! I got a 20.
20. Okay.
What?
Yeah, I got a 20.
Okay. There's a guard watching each individual as they're putting their stuff in there, and when you come up and you are like putting the things in there and you're putting the things like in your pocket, kind of already nodding at you and looking to the next person as you go by, seemingly unseen.
All right.
Everyone else going to work? All right.
I think I'm gonna try. Is there any moment where I'm passing through a door so like a guard can't see me or people can't see me, or I'm just fully surrounded?
Are you wanting to know if there's areas where you're like on the lookout to see if anyone's gonna see you?
I have a better idea. I go up to a guard. I want to go to a guard and say, I need to go to the bathroom.
You go up to the
Classic.
Okay. So the guard's standing there and it's like, oh, that's convenient because there's bathroom areas in each workplace. So just keep going to work and you'll find it.
Darn. Okay. I'm like, okay, thank you. Not wanting to seem like too out of sorts and like I'm trying to not seem too disappointed. I just kind of nod at him, just like, except I'm going towards the workroom. But
Bye, newbie.
I just kind of glare at him a little bit and just kind of smile a little bit, but it's a little bit of like a grim smile because there's like little fangs underneath. Like, I'm not interested in making friends with the guards.
His helmet is unchanged. You can't see his face.
Damn it.
It's a little crinkly, but you can't really see. So everyone's going to work. Cookie, what would you like to do? Are you going to work for the first time or sneaking off?
I'm gonna try to sneak back towards Grayson's.
Towards Grayson's? Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me. There are guards present.
Let's see if my luck's run out. Oh, yeah. That's going to be a 7.
7? The guard is standing, like, right at the door, like, just watching you, like, yeah? What do you do? Where are you going, big boy?
I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, first day, and then turn around and head back to the coal yard.
Points towards the coal yard and very eagerly nods his head. Probably kind of at a sense of relief that he didn't have to have a confrontation with you. So you're going to go to work? You're in the work
Gonna
hall?
go to work.
All right. So
Mhm.
unless you guys would like to do anything differently, your rolls from the first check are sustained through this work day. So is everyone working as they were previously?
What about me? Do I have
Like
to
the
do
only
a...
other option you have during the workday is to sneak off during work, if you would like.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sneak off during work.
Okay. Are you gonna head towards the bathroom, the back end area of the place, or are you gonna try to go out the front door?
I'm gonna head towards the bathroom.
Okay, the bathroom.
Because I know at this point they're probably watching me to see if I'm actually using the bathroom.
Yeah, looking at the Steamworks map, the very top left-hand corner is where the door is. So you'll have to be going towards the area of where all those guards are. You head over there, and no matter how much you try to stealth it, one of them's gonna ask you, "Is everything okay?"
Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Just need I'm not feeling too well. I'm not used to being on a boat. You really should have some like sick medicine on here.
I mean, you're not dying, are you?
No.
You see like another guard like shuffle over and push him out of the way. She's like, "I'm sorry, like just ignore this douche, like the douche canoe," and like pushes him away.
Can I go to the restroom? Is that so bad to ask?
I mean, there is a restroom in here, but honestly, I've seen Urang do a number in it, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. So, you can always go to the one that's in the social yard if you'd like to go there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'll wait for you here, and the guard kind of opens the door for you.
Mhm.
Can't really, no discernible features, just normal garb with a helmet covering.
So this guard is waiting for me
To go through the
outside the
go through
restroom.
door.
Oh, to go through the door
Mhm.
to go to. Okay. So they're not guarding the restroom.
Correct. She's
Wonderful. Okay,
She's
so
the door out into the main foyer. So you're going into the foyer if you leave.
okay, I will go into the foyer.
She shuts the door behind you as you leave.
Okay. Are there while I'm in the foyer, I'm assuming everyone's gone. Are there guards there still?
But go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. I forgot that my perceptions check are at disadvantage.
Correct.
You gave me that trait. So let me. Oof. Plus. Where's my perception? Oh, I got a 10.
You got a 10. Okay.
Mhm.
You don't see anyone in the direct vicinity of you. Are you going to head over towards anywhere specific? Or are you just standing in the middle of the foyer?
I am standing in the foyer and I want to use disguise self. And I can make myself, including my armor, my weapons, look different until the spell ends and until I use an action to dismiss it. I can't change my body type though.
Okay.
And I want to disguise myself as a guard.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty easy. You've seen plenty of guards. You know what they kind of have on them. So you're about the size, shape, and the appearance of a guard. What would you like to do next?
I would like to go see. I want to kind of like test out that door. Is there only one exit? I want to kind of like scope like the yard.
So like the main foyer area in between everything?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make a we'll see. What are you looking for? Are you looking for doors?
I'm looking for doors.
Okay, perception check for me.
Okay.
At disadvantage. Lo siento.
An 8.
An 8. Yeah, it looks the same as you've walked through before. The gate is still looming there. You do notice that the sigil on the gate is shimmering where it wasn't shimmering before.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I want to turn around and so like I already know what the social yard basically looks like. There's you're saying there was a market? Do I know that there's a market there?
You haven't been in there yet. You have no clue. You don't know.
I have no clue.
You know that people trade with each other, but you don't know of the market yet.
Okay. I want to go ahead and see I'm trying to find the map. Okay, so there's the dining area, there's the steamworks, there's the coal yard, and I'm in the social yard right now.
Okay, so you enter the social yard?
Yeah, I entered the social yard.
Okay, you enter the social yard, and there is a human standing right there in the middle of the social yard, just staring at the doorway as you and your guard appearance walks in. This is what the individual looks like. Just human male, just standing there, just staring at you. And you hear him, like, underneath his breath go, "Wow, you're gorgeous."
I kind of look at him and just be like, how would you know that? I'm underneath a helmet.
He laughs to himself and walks away. Like, starts to walk back towards, like, the workout area.
I don't know whether he's supposed to be here or not.
He's not really making any effort to converse with you.
Okay, I'm not going to intervene. I'm going to keep on heading into the yard and scoping things out. I want to see if I can try to find like good places to hide or like stuff to grab. I want to know where, because I'm aware that there's a trading place. I want to try to find it, like that trading place.
So, yes, so looking around the room, very easily, you can see things that are marked away for, like, there's like a big restroom area where it's like right up against the right side of the wall. Looking across the room, you see a bunch of like cafeteria-like tables. To the left of the room, there's a window, like a porthole, looking outside where it's like, it looks like it's daytime outside, coming in through a window. And then you see like these giant rings where there's blood splattered on the ground of these rings. Some like workout equipment that's all like tethered by either chains or different types of like soldering, soldering the benches to the ground and stuff like that all along the way. And there's like this middle turret where there's slits in the main like center area, and then there's like chairs up on the top of it as well, but it's all empty. And then directly to your right is a jut of a building that's labeled the market.
Okay, I head towards the market.
Okay, you go into the market?
I go into the market.
All right, so going into the market, you are immediately met with this blue tiefling that's just leaning up against the counter, staring right back at you.
Okay, I kind of pause for a moment and I look at him and I just go, "Good day."
Good day. I wasn't expecting any visitors.
Well, I am a card. I get to go wherever I please.
He like leans in. It's like you're talking. Oh, is that right? You get to go wherever you please. Okay. What do you need here, guard friend?
Oh, I'm looking to see if you're selling any of the stuff that we took off of the prisoners.
Well, we do have anything that the prisoners came in with that weren't allowed, and I am selling them, but I don't know why you need them, guard.
Well, I just like checking out what's in here. You know, we got some new people in here. Who knows what they have?
Be honest, you're not here to check out the stuff. That's what I'm saying. You're here to check out me. And like he leans back in his seat and he's like, why do I have to fish it out of you guys every single time?
So like, oh, you're very perceptive. All right, fine. I was going to ask, would you like a drink later on?
This is, okay, you're new. Take off your helmet. Who is this? This is the second person that's asked me for a drink today. He seems to be entertained by the fact that you're there.
Okay, so I go ahead and I go ahead and get rid of the disguise self because I feel pretty comfortable that this person's another tiefling, and I just kind of look them in the eye.
He's taken back and he like leans up on the desk. He's like, I didn't see you come in. Interesting.
But, and here I was thinking that you were very perceptive.
I know. Usually I look for good bargains and good deals, but maybe you're good at sneaking in the shadows and good at being mundane.
Well then, I stand corrected. You are good at perceiving.
I only look for the people I can swindle. What can I do ya?
Well, I need information, obviously, since I'm new here.
You new people.
Aria will just sniff that out.
He like kicks the bottom of the table and you see like a young man like stand up from behind the table and he's got like a bowstring in his hand and like a violin on his back, kind of like staring at you like, oh, hello. I saw you. You're one of the new people. You were sitting with that flute person, weren't you?
I was sitting with a flute person, which you didn't seem too keen on.
No, I really don't like competition, and it's typically my area of expertise is the music, and people only come to me. Like Monopoly and all the sorts, so.
I'm pretty well aware of it, but, smart people might see it as a better opportunity, rather than making an enemy.
I'm not really one for bands. And he like flicks out the dagger at the tip of his bow and starts carving things in the table. And The tiefling like, quickly brushes it off. It's like, stop! I hate when you do that. Fixes the table. I'm sorry. Where are my manners? My name is Grayson. Nice to meet you.
I go ahead and take Grayson's hand and just nod, just Ray.
Nice to meet you, Ray. Well, if it's information you want, I do have that. However, since you're the second customer today at weird times, and I have not made any money today, I would prefer something in exchange for information.
Well, I have two options.
Okay?
What was that?
Same currency, information's fine by me. Or if you have like physical things that I can sell, I'll take that too.
Well, I don't necessarily have information for you, but I have two options. I can either owe you a favor, or I have a little bit of a treat.
Okay, I know our heritage is abyssal in nature, but I'm not one to deal with, offers and trades of just fake word. What if you were like the man who touched the sigil today, and you're just gone in an instant?
Well, I'm sure there's something that you need to have done.
I kind of, ironically, like to keep my hands clean when it comes to being outside of my shop. You see that over there? And he like points to the far end corner of the room. It looks like just a crate, just like a normal crate. It's like that's where I sleep. I stay here. So I don't need to leave ever.
Ever? How do you get your shop? How do you get your items?
You lovely people are my middleman.
Fine, so you do need information since you never leave, apparently.
How much can change around here? Come on. Everyone comes through here and I hear everything anyway.
How much can change? You were surprised by 2 people today. Speaking of love.
And guess what? Now I know.
Who was this other person that snuck in here today?
The big robot guy.
Oh.
I think his name
I know him.
was Cookie. He said his Cookie.
Cookie it is. I know him from the shores.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thanks. Not much of a congratulations to be had there. He's not necessarily a friend.
Well, it happens. Is there anything I could do for you with this cookie? Do you want me to steal from him? I'm not really good with the stealing stuff.
Oh no, I have stealing down to a science here. Well, I just need some more information. What do you have here? What is this ship? What is going on?
Man, you guys just ask for information. I tell you to tell me something specific, and then you give me 7 questions. One at a time, please. Which one do you actually want to know?
Pause for a moment. I sit down and just lean back on the counter. I don't like it when people don't tell me the things I need. So I'm going to brief for you. I'll go ahead and take out my dagger from underneath my coat. You don't want to disappoint me.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Okay.
Is this
I have advantage on intimidation.
Right, yeah, I was about to say.
Let's see. Where is my sheet? Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. I don't even need to roll with him because he's got already some low self-esteem issues. So you see him very
too, bro.
quickly, his hand darts underneath the table and then like backs away, like second guesses himself, like on what he was just about to do, and kind of leans back and goes, "I'm offering, quickly ask me so I can get this confrontation done with."
I don't like that quick movement and then him like jumping back. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump over the counter and kind of push him up against the wall.
He scrambles
and just
back,
be like,
puts his head like back up against the wall, and you see like Barnabas like and like come up, and he's like wielding the violin like at like playing ready like towards you.
Questions have changed now. What was that you were about to do?
It's my protection.
Doesn't seem to work very well.
By myself, you guys can gang up on me. I need some sort of protection.
What is this little shrimp your protection then?
Barnabas is like, "Hey, I got some tricks on my sleeve," and he's like, click, and it keeps flicking out the dagger that pretty much everyone knows about at this point.
Oh, trust me, you don't want to use that on me.
He's like,
Listen,
examining your weaponry and your knife as like have him up against the wall, and he's like kind of glaring, no longer intimidated, just kind of looking at like what you have in your hands.
Okay. Listen, all I want is some questions answered. I don't want to have to necessarily pay for them every single time. We can either be friends or we can keep making this difficult.
24 hours.
24 hours?
24 hours, ask me questions, it's fine. But then we go back to normal.
48.
He looks over at Barnabas, and Barnabas is like kind of like shaking now at this point. Nods his head, and he's like, all right, 48. That means we have to take it, because that's the last number you said.
Fair enough. I think we can still be friends after this, don't we?
I mean, yeah, that's how transactions work.
Okay. Go ahead and back off and just kind of nod at Barnabas a little bit.
He like lowers his bow and pushes his knife back into his bow stick on the table, and Grayson like scowls at him like stabbing my table again. At this point, you hear like a little bit of like shifting in the room, like something knocks around a little bit.
Knocks around as in air. Okay. Can I do I know what the sound is, or
No, just your surroundings are moving. Like something is either moving around or something is in the walls.
okay, can I roll a perception check on that?
Yeah, you can look for it if you'd like to look around.
Oh, okay. I don't like things I don't know. Oh no, wait. He has to tell me. I'm going to ask him a question. I'm going to look at him and just be like, "What was that?"
My protection that apparently doesn't know how to stay still. And he like hits the table a little bit, and you see from the other side of where the crate is, up against the wall, vroom, you see like a person appear that's been standing in the corner. It is the same man you saw when you first walked in. He did not come through the same door that you did.
Oh, he just kind of out of nowhere.
You didn't hear the door open or close behind you. You just know that he is now in the corner of the room with you guys.
Okay, I just kind of pause because like I don't know whether he recognizes me or not. So I look at him, just be like, "You're rather slow, aren't you?"
He nods. He's like, "I've been here the whole time. You think I could resist following your beautiful figure coming in?"
I kind of squint at him, just be like, "I don't know if I like you, but I'll know soon enough."
He goes back.
And I'll go ahead.
He goes back into the corner that he was like standing in, and like you can't see him anymore.
It just disappears. Not necessarily a fan of that. I'll go ahead and back off from not Barnabas. What was his name again? Grayson. I'll back off from Grayson. Just kind of like let him have his space and things like that. Now that we're in agreement of where we're at with one another.
About this time, you hear a and you feel like the whole room shake. You hear some guards like you can hear like people talking and yelling at each other from the back area. Everyone else who's working in your respective areas, everyone is like sighing of relief and like sauntering over towards like their racks, and they're putting up their tools and their shovels and things like that. If you guys would like to do anything, you may. People with the wrenches, you have the wrenches, and the guards are watching you very closely as you're approaching with the wrenches. Is there anything anyone would like to do in the work sites while this is undergoing? Some of the guards are like, "Well, you did a good job's work today. I'm really proud of you guys. No one caused any issues, and yeah, it's pretty good." Very unmotivated speech from this individual.
Thanks, Dad.
Can I twirl my wrench as I set it down?
Yeah, they watch and they're excited. Actually, go ahead and make a performance check for me.
Sure. 16.
16. He kind of is taken back, and then like clocks your flute that you also have there, and he goes, "I'd love to hear a song from you sometime if you have."
I'd love
some time.
to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And he like takes his helmet off, but it like comes off like a hood when he takes it off, and kind of like looks at you. It's a human male, maybe in his like early 20s, and he's got like a very distinguishable like line scar from like the top of his hair all the way down to below his chin, kind of just staring at you. And nods his head and puts his hood back on. It takes the form
I'll kind of like
a metal
give a
helmet.
smile, and then
Okay.
Continue on.
As you're leaving the room, you feel a little bit of heat coming from your hand. Do you acknowledge it?
My hand?
Yes, from your own hand.
Can I look at it?
Yeah, it's your hand.
Wait, heat coming from it?
Yeah, heat. Like a almost not enough to be painful, but enough to be out extraordinary from your body.
Can I like try to look at it?
Yeah, you can.
Has this ever happened to me before?
It has happened to you once before. Yes.
When?
It happened.
I don't usually do manual labor.
You didn't do any. It happened to you on the docks of Farnridge during some interactions with some cloaked individuals.
Oh my gosh, I didn't like those people. They tried to hurt me and my sister. Can I scan the crowd and see if I see someone that looks like they could have cast something on me? Or
go ahead and make a perception check. Everyone's walking out of the steam yards with each other, so go ahead and make a perception check as everyone's leaving the area.
Okay, I will. 12.
12? You don't see anyone that you would recognize, or someone you don't see any like you're used to spells and components and stuff and semantics. You don't really see anyone doing anything towards you. But the heat does stop. It does stop after you like acknowledge it a little bit.
I'm gonna like hold my hands kind of daintily and just sort of I'm a little put out. And I want to keep a more careful eye as I'm around people. And I want to specifically look for black cloaks and people that look shady.
All right. As time goes by, I'll let you know if you are seeing anyone with that 12 check.
Okay.
Everyone else is kind of like exiting the area, and you are with Ray is with Grayson, and Grayson kind of leans up and he's like, "Oh, that's the end of the work day. It looks like you did a good job at work." At this time, as like Grayson's like acknowledging you, you feel like this creeping, like somebody's standing over your shoulders behind you, and you hear like a like a whisper, almost like a snake, like approaching you, Ray.
I'll kind of rapidly turn around to try and see what that presence is.
Right, you look around and you don't see anything, and then it starts like talking over itself at you, and a very like familiar feeling starts to sink in your gut.
I try to like kind of sit with the feeling and trying to figure out what was going on. Is this the same sensation I felt when at the bar? Mm-hmm. Okay, I try to look around, and I look at Grayson and just be like, "Have you seen any cloaked figures in this area?"
Grayson kind of looks at you and he's like, "We don't really do well with people like completely covered up because we need to know where people are at certain times. So I would say no cloaked figures." I'm kind of forced to believe him since we have this deal of 48 hours, and I just kind of look around and like I'm very unhappy at this point. I'm very put on edge. Your heart is racing a little bit. Are you gonna try to do anything about your body's elevated like stress levels and anger from this?
I'm gonna stay on high alert, trusting that this feeling is here for a reason.
Okay. Are you staying in the room with them?
Yes, because I know that there's this room here, and at least there's two other people that are going to have to deal with this presence if it enters.
Okay. At this time, what is everyone else up to? Aria, what are you doing after work? Everyone's kind of heading out to the main foyer area where you met up this morning.
I was going to actually ask, prior to the workday ending, would I have been able to take a quick break to go to the bathroom, or just like, not because I actually needed to go, but would I just be able to get in there for some like a little bit of privacy for like a couple minutes?
Yeah, you're in the steam room, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're heading to the steam room. On your way to go to the steam room, you notice that you're pretty perceptive, and you've been kind of staying back watching people. You notice Ray isn't in the room, and you head back towards the bathroom area. Are you wanting to go to that one or a separate one?
I mean, that one was fine. I just, I was really thirsty because, it's really hot in here and I'm not quite used to this much labor. Mm-hmm. And so I was going to go in there just to, I was going to use create water and just fill up my 2-foot tall cup and try to chug some water.
Okay, yeah, you very easily are used to this. You can create some water inside of your cup, and you have water to drink.
Okay, yeah, I was just trying to get like a little break because I was not sure if I was going to feel super exhausted after this afternoon. So if I could get in there, maybe hydrate a little bit, I wouldn't feel as bad after I leave.
Yeah, you could still feel the work from this morning, but you're glad that you did that because you felt like you might have been worse if you just didn't take a second for yourself and change your environment a little bit. But you still feel a little bit of pain and suffering from this morning, so you still do have 1 point of exhaustion, as well as Ray and Evelyn both having a point of exhaustion still.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that was all I wanted to do, and then maybe while I was walking through, just to try to get a glance at some of the other groups that are working in the Steamworks, since we're kind of like separated into different groups doing things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see Galtia from your table in there with you guys as well. You do see a Galene that was in there with you guys.
I'll wave at you.
I'll confusedly just wave back because I've met, like, briefly, like, seen her in the cell across from me, but we haven't really met yet. I'm like, oh, okay.
2 individuals really stand out to you. So there is a Aarakocra that is just a bird folk, someone who looks like a bird in a humanoid form, that hasn't spoken at all since you've seen it in there with you guys. And then there is a hooded individual, a bald individual with a long beard that has like a red diamond tattoo on his forehead and a big like white robe as well.
You said white robe?
Yeah, white robe.
Okay.
Let me go and get you some images to look at of these individuals. You don't know their names yet, but that's who you see.
All right.
Can I tell at all if they've been like working hard, if they've been slacking, or anything along those lines?
The Aarakocra is very, very tired and very like sluggish, and the older individual with the long beard is also like borderline crawling out of there. Very, very old individual. Doesn't look like they did well in the conditions.
Okay.
Evelyn and Cookie, did you guys want to do anything as the workday has ended and people are returning their equipment? Evelyn, you're still with Ingo.
Do I know the range on Ren's ring, which I still have, yes?
Yes. And you would know the range is 120 feet.
120 feet. So...
I haven't showed you guys Ingo yet, actually. So here's Ingo. Everyone has seen Ingo at this point. He stands out because he is a tabaxi.
I don't want to ditch Ingo, but Evelyn's just kind of walking and trying to get within, if possible, within 120 feet of anybody who was wearing the armor that Ren stole.
Yeah, so
just close enough to maybe trigger the ring if they're around.
Yeah, if you go ahead and point at one of the guards and want to go ahead and. Are you being overt about it, or are you being like trying to keep it sneaky?
I'm trying to keep it sneaky. Maybe I look like I'm like checking myself for burns. Okay. Because she probably actually is checking herself for burns because you don't want to get burned. Me, please. Performance.
Just
don't mess this up for me.
And nobody's, because everyone seems to be watching each other here in this hall. They all seem to be watching each other.
19.
19? Okay. You feel pretty confident that this individual did not recognize that you were casting something on them or doing an effect on them. You get an affirmative return back from the ring that it is not Ren.
Oh, that's not. Okay. That would have been too easy. All right. Is that the only guard with those threads in there?
Almost...
Oh.
Out of every guard, there are 2 with the same color cloth that Ren have, and a third one that doesn't have a helmet on, and is and the same white but with gold trim. So there's the white with the blue and the white with the gold. So every 2 blue ones, there's a gold one. And there's probably close to, once you go out into the main foyer area, close to 20 guards all around you guys. So every third one is
It's going to take a while.
or a gold one, sorry. Yeah. And you know that your ring only happens once a day. You can only use that.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Bummer, okay.
Once a day.
That was my one today. No friends for me.
Anything for you, Cookie?
So we're done with work. Now I'm just gonna go back out and try to head towards the social hall again.
Yeah, as you head out, Cookie, you see a lot of the prisoners either heading back towards their halls, where their prison cells are, or heading towards the social yard. Some of them are just hanging out in the middle of the main area as well, just all looking at each other, talking amongst each other.
I'll go back into Grayson's shop.
In Grayson's shop. And so about this time, Ray, as you're standing there at the door frame where you feel this feeling, you hear a knock at the door. Grayson's like, oh, I mean, work's over, so it's got to be business. Can you go ahead and open the door for me, Ray?
I kind of grudgingly walk over because I'm a little bit fearful of what's behind the door, and I'll kind of slowly open it.
You slowly open it, and that feeling immediately goes away as you see a ginormous automaton standing in front of you. Cookie is coming in, but you no longer feel that feeling.
So I'm still kind of in disarray over the feeling, but I also know this person in front of me, so I feel slightly comforted, but not really because this is also like technically my enemy. So I kind of just like look at Cookie and I just nod and I open the door for them.
Yeah, Cookie, you could notice that she is not looking good. She's like they're pretty pale and they're like kind of reserved in the feeling towards like something that happened recently.
All right, I'll sort of give like as much as my expressionless face can give expressions, sort of like a strange like head tilt, and just a devil folk, and I'll walk up to the Grayson there.
Yeah, go ahead and make an intelligence check for me, Cookie.
Okay. It's gonna be a 13.
13. Yeah, you kind of read the body language of this tiefling, and you notice that like they were worried about their surroundings, but now that you come in and you make a big presence, that you doing that is what's going to comfort this individual, and so that that you can kind of see a little bit of a change of reaction based off of you taking that presence in the room.
Okay.
When you do that, though, you feel like the pocket of where you keep your trusty item, and where you kind of usually rest your hand on that pocket, start to get really, really hot. Like starts to your metal sensors start to like feel that like warning issue with that heat. Walk in and Grayson's like, "Oh, hello, friend. Well, look at this. We've got the 2 newbies up in here. Who would have thought you guys would have been our first customers?"
Right. I sort of I acknowledge the burning feeling, but I'm gonna try to engage Grayson in conversation.
Okay.
Grayson, I have some things to barter with now. Do you take cookies here? A cookie from Cookie.
You know what? I especially take cookies from Cookie because I like that. And the next person I sell it to, I'm going to let them know.
Perfect. So what do you actually sell here?
Oh, we've got many wares. Would you like to see my shop's menu?
Of course.
Because your DM does things in his free time, and like me.
While they're doing this, I just want to be cradling my hand still, and also trying to like find a crowd where people are chatting, so that I can maybe like share stories or sing or something.
Yeah, you know.
And I kind of.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'll go kind of off to the side, a little bit more comforted by like the silly kind of interaction that I just witnessed, the cookie from Cookie thing, and I'll go near Bonnermiss just to kind of like seem like I'm supposed to be there because I don't want to like tip Cookie off at all.
I'm sorry, I was looking down. Who said that?
Me.
Okay, that was right. Okay. Yeah. So, that's fine. Yeah, I think that works. At this time, Grayson is like leaning in towards Cookie and is explaining that like, yes, the dagger here is for 1 copper, and if you need a deck of cards, we've got 3 copper. We've got some dice for 3 copper, and if one of the high hitters, we got the 5 copper pieces. That's like 50 yards of rope or a flask. The special kind. And we have some other items, but they're only for equivalent value trade. And I'm only going to keep those secret until I know you have something of value.
All right, what's something of value that you'd be looking for?
He looks over at Barnabas, and Barnabas kind of like nods his head and is like, you know, some of us really, really like things that are imbued with the arcane. Anything that has a magical feature to it, we will gladly accept.
Is there anything kicking around this old hunk of junk that might be matching that criteria?
Are you asking the DM if you have magical items, or...
No. I'm asking Grayson if he knows of any magical items that he's looking for, or like that might be on the boat.
I can twist anything and everything to sell.
All right. So I'm guessing a cookie's not going to actually get me that much then,
No,
if you're
not
looking for
magic
magic items.
I mean,
Oh.
honestly, I'll give you 1 copper for that cookie. Because it came
All
from the
right.
cafeteria, which is a little bit easier to get.
Right. Well, that dagger will do better than me shank, so...
You'll trade it off for the dagger. The dagger is
Mm-hmm.
there's a shank on the table, and then there's a good condition dagger, and he gives you the good condition dagger.
Nice.
Cookie for
So,
cookie.
yeah.
I'll make sure to remember that. So he like puts it underneath the counter, out of view.
All right. I'll look over at Ray and be like, all right, so what's your deal? I don't think I've met you yet.
No, and I made sure you didn't.
Made sure I didn't. Do we have some sort of history here?
Well, seeing as I'm currently newly employed, I guess it doesn't matter anymore, but you know the rusty anchor?
It's sort of just like, rusty anchor.
I kind of nod in agreement. It's just like, yeah, that wonderful old place. Well, I happen to be the right-hand man of the very man that you that you don't particularly like.
That place. No class at all. Can't even get a decent meal there.
That's what made me love it so much. Do I seem classy to you?
Well, you got a certain je ne sais quoi about you, but, you know, I'm not one to judge. I've lived it up with the scum and villainy of the world. So, you know, compared to them, you don't seem too bad.
Not bad at all, unless you want me to be.
So you're new here too, huh?
Indeed. Threw onto this ship, chased by guards, thrown in a prison, electric nets. Any of these sound familiar to you?
Well, so it was a completely normal day for me. I was just cooking, and then my inn was attacked by these strange, mysterious, dark-hooded figures, and fought them off. My poor boss, Teresh, got a crossbow bolt right through the neck. He lived, but that's probably gonna put a number on his vocal cords there. Then I went down to town, and I just got captured in out of nowhere, pretty much. It was very bizarre, very bizarre.
I kind of grit my teeth as I'm like listening and like clearly kind of unsettled by like what Cookie is saying. And I kind of lean in because I'm uncertain of what's going on and I don't want Grayson and Barnabas to hear. And I get close to Cookie and just be like, did these cloak figures just disappear?
Aye, they did. And it's very unsettling, very unsettling. I sort of also lean away from Grayson and
Grayson is in the
Barnabas there,
midst of
just to sort of, not necessarily exclude them from the conversation, but at least,
Grayson's halfway through your cookie at the moment.
eating the cookie. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good to know it's getting some use. Well, I know one thing for sure, and it's that I can't be on this ship any longer. We need to get out of here. This place is not for us. There's been some sort of mistake. Something weird's going on here.
I'm in complete agreement with you there, but it seems we don't have very many options. I say that we put old rivalries aside and try to figure something out.
I'll agree to ignore your dubious employment for now, and perhaps we should go meet up with my friend Aria. She's in the same boat, literally and figuratively, as we are. So perhaps we should go meet up with her.
Show kind of like a sigh of relief that like Cookie is like knows other people here, because I'm very horribly aware that like I'm not getting out of here alone. And I kind of nod in agreement, and I lean in and just let him know, just like, my inn was attacked too the same night by the same things. My cook took a really, really big cut to the back, and then these guards came. We aren't meant to be here, and I don't want to find out why.
Agreed.
Then I choose to go ahead and follow Cookie out of the market.
Yeah, as you're leaving, Grayson's like, "Thank you for your patronage," and Barnabas is like tuning his violin. He's like, "It's almost time for dinner. Dinner show. Dinner show."
I give him one foul bard as I leave.
He's like, oh, looks over his shoulder at you. He's very offended.
In this interaction, I want to send my mage hand to just kind of like shove Barnabas a little bit since he's like distracted.
Mage hand's like 10 pounds. It's still a good amount of like whoa, like he is scared him more than anything because you can't see it. And as he jumps, you hear the corner also like jump, like because it's startled at whatever startled him.
Yeah.
Cookie.
And then I'll just leave it.
Cookie, you do notice that. You have a passive perception of 13. You just hear something shuffling in the corner with him.
Cool.
Heading out, are you guys looking for Aria?
Yeah, just going to be looking for Aria.
Where is Aria?
I can try, but I don't know what Aria looks like.
Yeah, so I would be going toward the social quarter as well. I think I would actually be a little intrigued by Galene because just the way she looks is just interesting to me. And so she also waved at me when I walked by. And so I'm like, okay, interesting. So I think I would try to seek her out going toward the social hall.
Okay. Galene, where are you you're following the big boy, the big man?
Yeah, I'm still walking with the same people I was working near, so it'd be very easy to just walk along with us.
Yeah, you see Galtia looming ahead, heading towards his cell area. You can also notice if Evelyn, are you still walking with Ingo?
Yeah.
Ingo's
Yeah.
hurriedly going to his cell area at the moment. So everyone is kind of like converging areas at this point, coming in. Aria, do you join this gaggle?
Yeah, I will.
Galene, you're traveling with everyone as well. They're heading
Sure,
towards the
yeah.
cell.
I'll look over to Aria and be like, "You look familiar. Are you across from me?"
Yeah, you're in the cell. Yeah, we're right next to each other.
Mhm.
I didn't see you very well. I think you were sleeping when I first got brought in, so I didn't have a chance to really speak to you just yet.
It's because they knocked me unconscious and brought me here. I sort of say it lowly to her.
Yeah, I'm in the same predicament. Were you arrested or were you just brought here?
Evelyn,
No,
you hear all of this going down. They're not
I'm
being
gonna say-
sneaky enough that...
I was just gonna say I'm gonna say the next part quite quietly. So
Evelyn, you're
I'm
in the
gonna kind of-
area because you're following behind, and they're all kind of going to the same cells. So be aware.
I'll be a little more subtle now that we're like actually opening up about what happened, given the conversation I had this morning prior to going to work. I am gonna say this this boat is different than other boats. I've never seen people get forced into being on a boat like this.
Yeah, prior to getting on this boat, I had realized that some of the people being taken were being arrested, but not because they really did any crimes. It was because they were trying to just, it seemed like, collect a workforce. So I was wondering how many people here are really criminals versus just workers that they're collecting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Before you guys are walking and talking kind of, and it doesn't take too long. Aria, you notice in the corner of your eye the big looming figure of the automaton exit the social yard, and a tiefling following pretty closely behind him.
I'm going to point out to Aria quickly and be like, that I stopped by the shop where they were working, and then I saw them get taken, and then I was knocked unconscious right after.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that automaton, we're acquaintances, and I think we're just going to meet up. I think he was wrongly taken as well. So, because he's a pretty good guy. I've never seen him commit a crime. He cooks. So, yeah, I'm gonna go speak with him if you want to come join us.
I'll join you, and I link my arm through hers.
I'm a little
about face,
taken
and
aback,
I'll turn to my previous companion I was walking with, and I'll look at, oh gosh, what's his name? I'll look at Galtia and be like, it was a pleasure working near you. Hopefully we'll be in the same group again, or maybe I can play for you.
He nods pretty eagerly and gesturing to his cookie that he has in his vest.
Love to make your acquaintance. We're going to go meet more people, but I'll see you soon. And then just confidently walk with her in arm to wherever we're going.
While we're walking, I'm going to actually ask because I don't think I actually caught your name. So I think hi, I'm Aria, by the way.
Aria, that's beautiful. It's like a song. Your name's a song. I'm Galene.
It's nice to meet you.
Right before Ingo touches the door frame to your guys' cell that would be entering, Evelyn, you hear a loud and it shakes the whole place, and you can hear the yelp of somebody behind you guys going dinner, and it starts running across the place. It's that 15-year-old kid just sprinting over to the balls and dining hall, and you hear and you look around, and everybody kind of looks around, and it keeps going, and all the guards kind of look around a little bit, did something mess up? Did something go away? And you hear, and it shakes your vision. It's hard to focus because it's just shaking the whole building, and slowly, people are not there after a ring. Less people are running towards.
Wait, is this what happened before? When I was standing in the crowd?
No, this is
okay.
That was a magical effect that you were aware of that you couldn't resist. This is an alarm, and you're noticing every time it shakes, your vision shakes kind of, and less people are there. Less people. And now you're standing in an empty room. Aria is standing there, glancing over. You notice your friend Cookie is standing there, and looking over. This tiefling is behind Cookie that hasn't come over yet, and then Evelyn, when you turned around, you noticed that you looked back to see where Ingo was, and Ingo's not there, and Galene, you're just standing there hooked arms with Ari, kind of looking around the room, and all you see is each other in this room. Silence falls on the room when you hear a little bit of and then over by where the podium is coming up from where Farwayne left off his initial announcement, a lightning starts rippling down from this balcony and falling down to the ground and spreading along the floor towards you guys over by the halls. And you see it rise up, and you see a couple individuals in full body suits of armor kind of step out of this little lightning force coming out of the ground almost. And at first, you see a a black charred armored individual kind of step out from the ground, pulling themselves up with this long glaive that's taller than this entity is. And then you see right after this black charred individual stomps forward, dragging this glaive along the ground as it picks up and points it directly at Ray, just like right towards Ray, standing in the doorway of the hall. And he goes, "Finally!" And before you even have a second to even breathe in, right after these, a couple more figures immediately step through this whipping lightning. There's a light armored green one individual steps out with what looks to be like a long whip wrapped around its body. Then you see there's like a blood red one where it's like almost dripping, almost stepping out with a large staff. And it's almost ironic because it's the armor is dripping, but then you see them like holding their side like they're heavily injured, like walking through like, ugh, and like kind of stumbles out and like falls on the ground, like pretty injured. And immediately after it, you see a yellow individual with a large tower shield, almost taller than it is, kind of rush over to the individual that's on the ground, that's seeming to be hurt, like trying to help the individual up, like, oh, like come on, like kind of picks it up. And then you see this blue entity step out with this long bow, and it's like almost modified with these crystals growing out of this bow, kind of like standing there out of the lightning. All of the lightning is coming out of the back of this yellow figure with the tower shield standing there, and then it ends. All of the lightning ends as they're just all standing in the room staring at you five. "Who is in charge of this movement?" says the person who's holding this tower shield and now holding their friend on the ground, acknowledging you guys in the room. From their hands, you see these individuals that are wielding these weapons, element crawling up their body. The individual who is holding the red staff that's on the ground, it's almost like fire is whipping up this individual's arm. The individual holding the tower shield has lightning crackling behind the tower shield up its shoulder. The individual who's holding the modified bow has almost like shifting and moving ice along its arm that's holding the bow from where it's modified. The black armored individual with the giant glaive is almost like caped in this black smoke coming from its arm where it's holding the glaive up above its head. And the green individual almost has like shifting vines, shifting from where it's holding this whip in its corner pocket. They're looking at you expectantly, and the black armored individual with the glaive is like heading over, like starting to move towards Ray with this glaive. "Who is in charge of this movement?"
I look at Cookie like there's a part of me that's like hoping that they're pointing at him, but I know for a fact that they're pointing at me, and I look back at them and I just whisper, "What the fuck?"
I'll sort of step in front of Ray and shake my fist at this dark, shadowed figure and be like, "What business have ye?"
We're here. Whoever the leader is, we're here to give a message. He seems to be nervous and fumbling over himself a little bit.
Well, we'll send your message.
Your blood belongs to the Titans of old. And
Titans of old.
Look at okay, yeah, you said it, yeah, okay, yeah. They're all shaking their head expectantly, and there's one still on the ground being held by the individual in the yellow shield, still coddling this individual, and they're like, ugh, and you see the hands glow from the yellow individual and heal a little bit of that damage that was done to that individual. Hold on. A little bit of damage healed from that individual. Okay.
I look at Cookie and I go Titans? What are they talking about? Titans? We don't deal with Titans. I don't deal with Titans. Nobody deals with Titans.
We are the only ones who will hold this power in the world. Prepare to meet your maker. And then you hear one of them back up. Oh, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Go ahead and roll initiative, everybody.
All right.
Yeah.
While they're talking.
Oh yeah.
While they're talking, can I just, since I'm still linked arms with Aria, can I say, this doesn't look good, and give her some bardic inspiration as a bonus action?
Yeah, while you were watching the yellow individual.
I've seen these things happen before.
You have 1 die of bardic inspiration.
All right.
When y'all get your totals, we'll start with Ray as soon as you got your initiative count.
Oh gosh.
I'm 4.
4, okay. Cookie?
Yeah.
7.
7.
Oh no.
Okay, Galene.
8.
8, nice. Aria.
No.
13.
13.
Okay. I know
Double digits is good.
I said it wasn't good.
Evelyn.
13.
Okay, that's better
13.
than ours.
Immediately, as soon as you hear, yeah, that was pretty good, a bow shot shoots right out of the modified bowmen, and it's going straight towards Galene.
Oh.
But right past Galene, too, with a 10. You have an armor class of 10?
I have an armor class of 11.
All right. It goes right past Galene, right past her ear. And you just hear her go, shit. Up next.
I'm gonna just frown at them.
They acknowledge your frown. They're cocking a new bow, cocking a new round, but they acknowledge your frown. Immediately, this individual in the black armor goes and charges straight at Ray. So I'm going to be making an attack move against Ray, and it's going to be very reckless in a manner. Natural.
How are we supposed to send a message if we're
natural
all dead?
What?
Natural 1.
This is their message. Their blood from the Titan is what they think they need to be doing.
We can't send the message if we're all dead.
That's why they think the power belongs to them. Does anyone have any effects with natural 20s? Because they just rolled a natural 20.
A natural 20?
Yeah.
I had. Can I? Okay, I'll go ahead and use second spell, and hopefully I won't need to use anything else. I'll use silvery barbs to make them have to re-roll.
You got it. They rolled a 8 plus 5, so 13 is, what is your armor class?
My armor class is 13.
13, so they will still hit, but they're not going to hit you with critical hit, so that's
Okay. Yay!
We'll take it.
You take 11 points of damage.
Yikes.
This individual is very angry. You can see like underneath the gap of their full helm armor, you can see their face like crinkled. It looks almost humanoid now that it's like right up against you, but also kind of incorporeal, like almost see-through-ish. Up next is a tie between Aria and Evelyn. Who has the higher dex?
I have a +1.
I have a +4.
Okay, +4 gets it.
Okay, so without having a map, this is kind of hard to see.
Yes,
How many are within a 10-foot radius of each other?
Right. So let me go ahead and build the room for you guys a little bit. So there's this yellow square that is on the ground where you guys met up usually. You guys are all on the center side towards the halls, kind of grouped up a little bit, with the exception of Ray, who's about 10 feet more towards the social hall. In front of you, you have Ray in combat with this black armored individual, and all 4 of them are in a clump about 30 feet away from you on the other side of this yellow taped off area. So about 30 feet from you guys.
Okay, but they're all
within 5 feet of each other, like clumped up close together.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I am going to cast Shatter. It is 60-foot range. It's a 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point. Each creature in that sphere must make a Constitution saving throw. A creature takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. A creature made of inorganic material such as stone, crystal, or metal has disadvantage on this saving throw. So I don't know if these titans are stone, crystal, or metal, but that will be important.
Thank you for letting me know. What is the DC save?
Let me just cast it and see what it. Shoot, what
You
is
said con, but con what?
It says at the top usually.
it should be a 12, I believe.
Con 12? All right. Light green got 14, so that's a fail. Red got a 7, so... Well, sorry. The first one succeeded.
One
this
save,
fails.
one fail.
Yeah. And then yellow... 21 for yellow. And blue... 16 for blue. So the only one who failed was red. And red is already looking real bad.
Okay, so it would be 18 damage for the one that failed, and then 9 damage for the other 3.
Gotcha. You see the red individuals start to shake and go, and you see them like take out their staff, and you see fire emit from the staff, like they're about to cast like a huge elemental fire blast at you guys, and you see them like shimmer out, and they've become one with the wind at this time. Just little embers floating in the air, gone.
Toasted.
The rest took 8, you said?
9. It'd be half damage.
Okay. They all look very hurt from this. They all look like they're really struggling in response to this happening to them. Would you like to do anything else with your turn?
I'm gonna wink at Galene and be like, "Think you can do one better?" And I'm gonna give them some bardic inspiration as well.
Nice.
You have
I'm gonna,
2
like,
bards?
Act like I catch it.
All right.
Surprise!
Would you like to move at all, or you want to stay together in that clump?
I think I'd like to spread out just so that we're not, we're not all in a line or potentially grouped up. So I think I'd like to run about 20 feet off to like the left just to kind of get away from our grouping.
The left is over towards Ray. So would you like to head that direction or to the right?
I'll go right.
Right? Okay. So you're heading more towards the
Fair.
Elven area.
It's like you dance around me, and I'm just like, ah.
Are you doing the full 30 feet of movement, or?
I'm only going to go about 20. I don't want to be too far away, but I want to at least spread out our potential lines.
Gotcha. Alrighty, Evelyn, what would you like?
All right. Sorry, I forgot. I forgot everyone's names. Ray and Cookie, they're by each other. Is anyone else by them?
Cookie's about 10 feet spread away from Ray. Ray is the only one that's kind of slightly separated from the group. Everyone else is close together now. Aria split off to the right.
All right, I'll go close to wherever the group is, and I'm going to cast Fog Cloud, which creates a 20-foot radius sphere of fog centered on a point within range, so just kind of where we all are, so we have some cover.
Okay. You have cover in your 20-foot area around you guys. They were about 30 feet away from you, so there's a 10-foot gap between them and you guys from the fog.
I'm glad I only ran 20 feet because if it's a radius, then I'm just inside that fog.
Yeah, right on the edge.
So you can hide if you want to. Let's see.
Is it 20 foot in all directions or 20 foot from side to side?
It's 20-foot radius from a point of my choosing.
Okay.
So I'll just kind of choose in the middle of everybody so I can cover up as many people. Then we can like poke our heads out and shoot or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
So you barely just covered Aria, and you're very in the bottom left-hand corner of that cube.
And then, that's all I can do on my turn. I will stay in my fog cloud.
All right. You see the green armored individual step forward and pull this whip out from that was wrapped around them and sling it down onto the only target that they can see, which is Ray.
Damn it!
Ray, go ahead and make a strength or dex check, your choice. So strength or dexterity.
Strength. Where's my strength? Okay. I'm going to do dexterity, and that is a 16.
16. You see it start to wrap around you, and you see it coming, and you're able to just kind of like move out of the way a little bit, and it slides off onto the floor. And the individual seems pretty angry and starts to head towards into the fog cloud. You see them disappear. The individual disappears into the fog cloud because nobody inside of the fog cloud can see inside of it as well.
Okay. I choose, or is this my turn, or just something's happening to me?
So you just watch that happen. This individual is about 10 feet away from you, and they tried to do this to you.
Okay.
It is, yes. You don't have, your opportunity attack is only 5 feet around you, so you wouldn't be able to have an opportunity attack. Galene, go ahead.
So I can't see anything within the fog?
Correct.
Okay. I don't need to see to do this. So what I want to do is the person who tried to shoot an arrow at me, I want to just slowly start kind of singing a really distorted melody like ah, and like cast dissonant whispers at them.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
They roll. It's a wisdom save.
Wiz save? Wiz.
Yeah, 12.
Let's see. 8 plus blue. 8 plus 0, so you're good. It's 8.
Okay, so on a failed save, they're gonna take 3d6 psychic damage, and they have to move. They have to use their reaction to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So go ahead and roll damage, and you'll see blue. I actually won't see blue, but you'll intuitively know.
Oh,
that blue is heading away.
I rolled so bad. They took
No.
4 damage.
Take
A
4?
2 and 2 1s. I'm nailing these dice rolls. Yeah,
No.
so they take 4 damage.
They are.
That's fine.
This individual is limping away. Very, very
Okay.
hurt.
So yeah, they move their full reaction away from me.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right. Up next is Cookie.
All right. So I'm also in the fog.
Yes, you would be caught in the
Okay.
fog as well.
I'm gonna move towards Ray and the dark figure,
Okay.
at least to get them in my vision.
Okay. As you step
Does that-
out of the fog, you are going to have an opportunity attack against you from the green individual.
Oh, okay.
As per one of their. Well, it's not going to hit. It's 9.
Yeah. Okay. No.
Okay. You see a whip, like very heavy whip. You see a thicker whip than you're used to seeing, just kind of flop on the floor next to you and suck back into the fog cloud.
Okay. I will then cast Firebolt on the figure. Let's see. That's gonna be a. Ooh, that's not great. That's gonna be a 10.
A 10 to hit.
And a hit. Yeah.
It does not hit.
Okay. With my bonus action, I'm going to use a healing word on Ray.
On Ray, go ahead. Roll for that.
That-
Do you have
that is-
do you have Warcaster by any chance? Or yeah, we're doing bonus action. Or you did a
It's a bonus action
bonus action.
for my class. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's gonna be 6.
6 points of back to hell.
Thank gosh.
So let's see. How will I describe my heal? Cookies throws you a little bottle of brew and says, "Drink this up. It'll make you feel a lot better."
Okay, I went and I go and snatched into the air because I'm so desperate. I kind of crush it a little bit. So it kind of is just like dripping down my arms, but I kind of like hastily like lick it off of everything.
As you do that, the yellow individual with the ginormous towering shield kind of saunters up towards the individual with the long bow that just had recently been hit and started to run away. Actually, he can't because it's running away. So that means it will. This individual will probably go into the fog cloud as well because they're pretty confident that this black armored individual is good. As they walk by, you hear like the hand extend, and you see a little bit of a lightning bolt, and like zoom out and go into this black armored individual, and they will heal 6 points of health. And the yellow individual disappears into the fog. All right. After that would be the red, but the red is not here. Ray, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and dash away behind the black individual.
Are you disengaging, or are you just going to try to run? You have a bonus action disengage if you would like to use it. Otherwise, he's going to attack you when you run.
Okay, I'll do disengage.
Okay. So that's your bonus action, and you're going to run away to where? Towards the fog cloud, or?
Can I run away behind this individual?
Yeah. If you want to head down the left side of the coal yard, you can.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and head behind that individual.
Okay.
And then I will go ahead and take my dagger and throw it at him.
Gotcha. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
sorry, what do I use for an attack roll?
It is your d20 plus your attack modifier for your dagger, which I believe is 5? Plus 5?
1d4.
24, you hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
It's 2 plus, what's my dexterity? 4.
So 4 total?
4 total.
You got it. You see it sink into this armor through one of the slats of this black armored individual's like, fair, because it's, they slashed at you, so.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to use your free action, or are you done?
I'll use my free action to recall the dagger back out to my hand.
Anyone who's outside the fog sees the dagger reappear in Ray's hand. All right, okay, and that is the end of your turn. Up at the top of the initiative order is Blue. Blue watches you start to head down the way from turning around, from being magically compelled away from your group, and kind of like shakes out of it, knocks another arrow, and sends one your way, Ray, because you are the one closest to them. Does a 10 hit?
Does a 10 hit for my armor class? I'm 13.
13? Okay. Right by you, too. And you see this figure very angry, because this figure never misses. All right. And then the black armored individual kind of like watches you run by with the dagger, and the dagger disappears and kind of confusedly looks down, looks over at Cookie and goes, "I'll show you how to hit." And it's going to take a swipe at Cookie. Does a 24 hit?
Yeah.
I always wanted to ask that because it's so silly. At level 3, does it? You take 8 points of damage.
All right.
And then he is going to use his bonus action to. Use the bonus action to. We'll hilt swipe you. So he comes back around with the back end of the glaive to try to hit you with the hilt. Does a 23 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. You take an additional 5 points of damage from the hilt.
Ooh.
He rolled pretty high. All right.
Nice.
After the black armor's turn, Aria, it is your turn.
Are they in the fog cloud? I guess that was my question. Is I'm not sure who's in the fog cloud versus who isn't.
You wouldn't have seen it. Well, no, you did move. No, you did. You're in the fog clouds. You wouldn't have seen who moved in, so you have no clue who is in the fog cloud or not. You see the fog cloud, like the corner of it. You stick your head out. It's going away from you towards the social hall and the coal yard, and you can't see any movement from around it. You can hear combat, but you can't see any movement from around it.
All right. I'm gonna run out of the fog cloud and just try to see if I can see anyone.
Okay. If you use all 20, or if you use 20 of your movement, you can get out in front of the fog cloud towards the coal yard, and you can see Cookie. You can see the black armored individual in combat range with Cookie. You can see Ray starting to run down the hall, and you can see just barely peeking out from the side of the coal yard, the blue armored individual holding a bow.
I think I'll look at the blue armored individual with a bow, and I will. I think I'm just going to do vicious mockery, and that is a wisdom saving throw of 12.
15.
All right.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't think it takes any damage on a save.
You shout some anger phrases at this individual, and the individual looks at you and goes, "I'm not even hitting anybody yet."
Yeah. Yep, I don't think it takes anything. So let's see. Bonus actions. I think I'm just going to. Can I pop back into the fog cloud, or
You have 10 feet of movement, so you can go back into that corner area that you left from.
Yeah, I'll just pop back into the fog cloud then.
Okay. When you start to head into the fog cloud, you feel a gush of wind. Does a 18 hit you?
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna take 2 plus 3, 5 points of damage, and you're gonna get shoved prone on the ground outside of the fog cloud with a ginormous looming shield. Buffs you out of the fog. So you're now on the ground and prone outside of the fog.
All right. Okay.
All right. Next up is Evelyn. What would you like to do?
All right. I'm going to pop out of the fog. And can I see 2 of the attackers?
Yeah, you can see the blue is far away from you, and the black is in combat with Cookie to your left.
Okay. I'm going to cast Chaos Bolt, and I'm going to try and twin it.
Twin it? Okay.
I'll use the sorcery points for it.
1 at each target or 1 at double?
1 at each.
1 at each? Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, let's go. Okay, 23.
For which target?
Do
Black is closer to you.
do I make them?
Do you make them individually with twin?
I don't know. I'm looking. Target a second. I'm not sure. I'll just do another one. I don't know if I've played a
Which
sorcerer
does this
before.
first bolt
New
go to?
characters.
Yeah.
They're doing great.
The black one's closer to you.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, that one hits.
Okay. And then 15.
Yeah, just hits.
Okay. So should I roll different damage for both of them, or just roll 1 and
You can roll 1. I'm okay with that.
roll 1?
With
Okay.
hitting, though, it's a little different.
All right. So pick one of these for Chaos Bolt. This will be lightning damage. So that'll be 11 lightning damage as Evelyn takes out her, like she would a sword, but it's a parasol, and whip it around and open it at them, and 2 bolts of lightning shoot out and hit each of them for 11 lightning damage.
Nice.
Ray, as you're coming forward, almost like face to face with this individual with this blue bow, like looking on towards Aria, kind of, giggling to themselves that this, person that just tried to hurt them fell on the ground. They look up, kind of look at you, make eye contact, and you see this lightning bolt travel inside of this individual's helmet and like start to come out, and all of the body starts to morph into snow and follow the bolt down the hallway. And the individual in the black armor is blasted back, is like really like leaning on his glaive now, kind of looking up at who just did that.
Wait, did I kill that?
Yes,
That?
you did
Okay.
kill that individual.
I have something I could. If I kill, is it a living creature?
It is.
Okay, I may store some elemental energy from that attack. Then on your next. Okay, so I'll just remember that.
You feel after you store that energy and you like comes around to you, you feel Ren's ring just like absorb the energy and swirling around your hand where Ren's ring is.
Nice.
Holding it there. It does get a little bit painful, but you're holding it in because you know what's going to happen.
That's fine. We can deal.
When you do that, you see an individual more towards the area where they would first emerge, reappear in red armor on the ground, like fall forward and look up, like pretty wildly around everyone at the scene that's happening. All right, up next is the green's turn. Inside of the fog, who is still inside of the fog? Okay, at disadvantage, they're going to take a swing at you. For 8. Does it 8?
It misses.
8. You can like hear like a whoosh and have like a whip just like come back and around you somewhere near you. See if they have any bonus actions. Nope. You see anyone who's standing outside, which is Cookie and Ray. You see the individual in the green armor with the vines up its arm and the whip kind of come back out and around and look around the room. It's like kind of thinking to themselves like, did anyone see that? Anyone see that? Okay. And they notice the red individuals now on the ground away from them, and they tilt their head a little bit and start to like walk over that direction towards them. Galene, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to. I think I'm still in the center of the fog, so I'm going to move forward 20 feet of my movement so I can kind of poke my head outside of the fog.
Okay.
And then as I do this, I will notice Arya on the ground, as well as Ray kind of trying to run away. And I'm going to say, oh no, my fellow song is on the ground. And I'm going to sing some words of inspiration. And I'm going to give each of them 5 temporary hit points. I'm going to use my mantle of inspiration. And both of you guys can move up to your full movement speed without provoking opportunity attacks. So I think you can use half your movement to stand if you'd like before moving.
Very nice.
So that'll be my bonus action. And then for my action, I want to look at the person who tried to hit me with the whip and say, don't worry, I didn't need to see that, to see how you failed. And I'm going to cast the, what is it called? Vicious Mockery.
Vicious Mockery is your ability, your bonus action, an ability or a spell?
It's an ability.
Okay.
It's part of my bardic inspiration.
Gotcha.
But either way, Vicious Mockery is a cantrip.
Oh, gotcha. Cool. So go ahead and Vicious
So,
Mockery
either way.
away. I think is it my Wiz?
Oh, I think you have to roll. Wisdom 12.
12 for green, you said?
Mm-hmm.
It's a dirty 2. It's not going to gig it. Okay.
Okay, so he takes 4 points of damage and has disadvantage on his next attack roll. And I'm just going to make sure he like sees me looking down on him like,
how do you want to kill this individual with words?
Him to death.
And be like, people quake when they hear me. And just like flick him away.
Kind of comes up from that failed attempt, and as he's like, as the individual's listening to it, it kind of like cocks his head. He goes,
bye-bye.
Failure. And you see it like flower petals start to like rise up from where the body was up into the sky. All right, that's the end of your turn?
That's my I have 10 feet left of my movement, and so I would like to back up back into the fog.
Okay, as you back up into the fog, are you unavailable? Well, actually, it hasn't been Yellow's turn yet, so you're good.
Yeah.
All right, you're back into the fog. All right, Cookie.
I am.
All right, so we got this big old scary thing crunching down on me. We're gonna do. We'll just try again for that firebolt attack.
Okay, it is within 5 feet. Is it at disadvantage up close or?
Let me see. Let's see. How does that work? Spellcasting.
Oh, and I'm sorry. While that happened, both of them that I gave temporary hit points to can move their full speed of movement if they wanted to.
Right now?
Like as soon as I gave them the 5
cool.
temporary hit points, they can both move up to their full movement speed without provoking opportunity attacks.
Oh, okay. I would love to move. Can I move within the fog, like behind the black armored guy?
Yeah, so you can just get into that corner area of the fog, right across from the black armored guy. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
I'd like to spend my 15 of my 30 standing up and then moving about 15 feet into the fog, since I didn't quite get to do that.
No opportunity attacks, so you're good. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get into the fog.
Mantle of
Where
inspiration.
would I see that? I guess would that be under like my class?
Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's only certain like ranged spells.
If you click on the cantrip, it should tell you at the top, I think, if you're on D&D Beyond.
Yeah. It just says range 120. It doesn't say anything about
disadvantage at close range.
Disadvantage at close range. Yeah.
Okay. I have to make a dex save. Is that what it is?
No. This is an attack roll.
Okay. Go ahead.
We did a 18.
18, you hit. Go and roll damage.
Okay, roll some damage.
Spellcasters are good against barbarians.
That's just going to be just 4 damage. So I'll shoot. I'll put my hand up, and hot soup will come flying out of my hand. Take this soup.
You just puke on me.
And burn him a little.
Okay. He looks pretty badly beaten. He's not really in a position to. He's kind of frantically. You can see his armor shifting as he's looking around.
I will use my bonus action. How's Ray looking? Ray's okay for now?
Ray's at 13 out of 18.
All right. I will use a healing word as my bonus action on myself.
All right.
I will heal. Oh, that's not great. But 4 hit points. So I'll just
hit points.
crack one of those little vials in my mouth and heal up 4 hit points.
Okay. Okay. So, right after Cookie starts to wait, did you move or you stayed there? You stayed there.
Stayed planted, yeah.
Right after you hear that, you hear shouting coming from the fog. What? What? Why do I sense you? And you see like this yellow armor's head pop out and acknowledge that there's the red individual on the ground and rush out. I think Galene, if you'd like to make an opportunity attack, you may at disadvantage.
My unarmed strike. Let me even see if that would do damage. No, it's like it's 0 because I think my strength is.
Oh, because you're negative.
I'm pretty sure my strength is negative, so I mean I'll do it for flavor. I'm gonna totally try to smack him as he runs by.
Throw, I would let you do that and like trying to hold them back from moving.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay.
I'd like to try that. Is this a strength check?
Strength check. Yep. Strength.
All right, let's go. Oh, 15.
6. So the individual you start to like head out and like you see like these. Hands.
I want to grab his collar and just yank him back and be like, I don't let men just run from me.
Gotcha. You're gonna take half of his movement because it's not a full sentinel, and so he'll still be able to step out, but won't be able to get to red. So you see this individual step out, kind of like look around pretty frantically, and you're gonna hear him go, "All right, guys, stop messing around!" And he's gonna slam the shield on the ground, and it's a D6 plus 2. Everyone gains 7 hit points back. Everyone who's still alive, anyway. All right.
They're people.
Yeah,
they're people.
That's good.
And that will be the end of Yellow's turn. It is Red next. Red is like, I feel better when I first came here. And kind of like scans the room a little bit. Just adding all the health back. And they're gone. So down to 3. Red kind of scans the room. Fred is in the top corner. We have Ray, you're still in the fog. Evelyn, are you outside of the fog? From your attack?
Yes.
Okay. They're gonna. Well, is Aria outside of the fog? Because you could use your.
No, she came in.
The red is very frantically looking around the room, probably for Aria, because Aria like eliminated them, and so not very satisfied with getting one caster. Is probably gonna look towards the other caster because it would have came back from an action, so it wouldn't have seen you cast, Evelyn, but it would have seen. See, Galene's in the fog as well.
Mm-hmm.
It would have seen Cookie cast. So this individual is going to cast Misty Step, and it's going to zoom up about 30 feet towards Cookie, getting right up in Cookie's face, and is going to just cast a firebolt because it's on the other side of the fog now and can actually see Cookie. Does a 14 hit?
It does, yeah.
Okay. You take 9 points of damage. Like
I wish my firebolt did that.
Skids off of your armor and really like chunks out some of that leather.
I did quickly Google it. Firebolt would have disadvantage if you are within 5 feet.
Okay. All right. So next
Good to know
time
for
we'll.
the future.
Yeah.
Up next is Ray. Ray, now you see in front of you this red armored individual that was previously gone, now suddenly back and healthier than ever, with the black individual that's seemingly pretty hurt as well.
Okay. I want to try to take out this black character.
Okay.
And I want to go ahead and do a sneak attack.
Sneak?
I have no idea how do I do that.
So you are hidden currently in the fog. You're out of sight, so you're going to get advantage on this ranged attack. So you can peek your head out and then use your 5 feet of movement to get back into the fog so you're aware of where these targets are. Who would you like to hit? The black targeted individual?
I would like to hit the black targeted individual.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Okay, so sneak attack is 2d6. So 4 and 1.
Go ahead and roll to hit. You're going
to roll to hit.
Throw a dagger.
Although you have advantage, so I think you get to roll 2d20.
Oh, okay.
Pick the
So
higher one.
I got 17 plus 4, 14 plus 4, so 21.
You got it. Definitely hits. Go and roll damage with
That's
your
good.
sneak attack bonus.
Okay. 1, Or 5.
5 damage?
5 damage.
All right. Again! Kind of looks down at the knife that's jutting out of their armor. Would you like to use your free action?
Yeah, I'll use the free action to recall the knife, like, once again. Like, just back into my hand.
Comes right back out of his armor. Would you like to do anything else for your turn?
Just kind of taunt him and just be like, this is what you get. I don't know what you're talking about.
Grimaces and shakes his helmet. All right. Up next is Blue, if it was still alive. Black. So you're still up against close to Cookie, so it's going to take another swing at you. And also for the future, I forgot to remind people, any attacks against Black will be at advantage because they are recklessly attacking. So that is my bad. Sorry, DM problem. Any attack. So remember.
I've mostly done spells against Black, so because I think it's only melee that's at advantage. Because if it's a spell that you have to do a con save or like saves, it wouldn't.
Right. I mean, if it has a spell attack, though, if it's like a firebolt, for example, it would be an advantage because it's a physical thing. Whereas, like, if
good
it's
to
a
know.
challenge, yeah. Does an 11 hit you, Cookie?
No.
Just like swings right up around, like reacting from the dagger attack. Very angrily sad that it missed you, really wanting to finish you off, not really wanting you there in its face anymore. That is the end of... yep, he's going to take the bonus action and try to come back down with the hilt. A 7 does not hit, so just comes down and kind of trips forward and falls down onto the glaive and kind of looks up at you. Will not move. He's staying there. His target is set. Aria, go ahead.
All right. How far away is Red from us?
Red, are you on the left side of the cube of the fog? Then you're pretty close. Or no, you're in the middle of the fog, so you're about 35 feet away from Red.
35 feet. Okay.
You're not aware of where Red is, though, at the moment. You would have to get completely out of the fog first to be aware. You're aware of their presence, though, so if you don't need to see the target, you're able to do an effect that is based off of their presence.
Am I aware of where Yellow is, since Yellow did kind of like...
Yellow is outside of the fog, was heading towards Red. So it's about... Yellow is about like 10 feet outside of the fog, towards the coal yard.
All right. I think I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to do a Dissonant Whispers. I'm going to go out to where I'm just at the edge of the fog and see Yellow. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to cast a Dissonant Whispers. So that's a Wisdom save of 12.
Nat 1 -1.
All right. So,
Get him.
Is that the first natural one?
3
rolled a 2 earlier. But...
So Yellow will take 9 psychic damage.
You see it like rack its head as he's holding up this towering shield. 9 damage, you got it.
Yep, and it also must use its reaction to run as far away as it can from me.
Okay, he picks up his heavy shield and is gonna head away on his turn.
And then, can I see anyone else? Not enemies. Party.
Ray, no, you wouldn't know Ray isn't inside the fog in the corner, so you would just see Red. You would see Red and Yellow right now, peeking your head out of that side of the fog.
Okay, and I wouldn't see Cookie either?
No, Cookie's kind of like in the middle of where the fog is, outside of the fog, more towards the social yard. So the corner of the fog would not allow it.
I'll just pop right back into the fog.
Okay, you got it.
And I'll pass my turn.
Is Evelyn.
All right. So I can see Black.
You see Black and Red.
And Red? I can do Red? Okay. I will do a magic missile at them. Does one of them... Well, I guess... Does one of them look more injured than the other ones?
Red looks, well, they're about the same. They're both looking pretty bad, bloodied.
Okay. I think I can only add my extra 2d4 from the last one to one of these.
Yeah.
So I'll do 4 glowing darts of magical force And then I'll add the extra damage from last one to one of the black ones.
Okay.
Okay, so
total?
Hmm?
Oh, you have to roll. You're rolling. It's roll or a total? I forget.
I gotta roll damage yet. So for red, it'll be
Magic missile.
7.
Never miss.
Yeah, never miss.
So 7 for red,
Still up.
and then I can add. Okay, and then it gets 2d6 extra from the lightning I said from last time.
So lightning damage.
So that's so 14.
13. In what way does your magic missile kill black?
She's already got her parasol out, so she kind of spins it, and they spiral out in this blue color. And 2 of them go to red, 2 of them go to black. The ones going to black are also crackling with the electricity from the last spell.
All right.
They slam into them.
As black dissipates, it starts to the shadow from the arm crawling up the hand that was holding the glaive comes up into the air and like sinks into the ground and skitters away like little shadows flying away.
Oh my
So if you killed another creature, do you get another whatever?
Can I get more?
I think you have 1 per day. I think I did limit it to 1 per day.
Ah,
That was a little
I was gonna say
strong.
that's a
2d6
cool
is
ability.
pretty
You must
strong.
keep murdering.
Yeah, chain
Once per
murder
day,
is
yeah.
a real scare.
I'm 1 away from being a serial killer.
That's true.
Yep, once per day. All right, that'll be it for me.
Green is dead, so then it is Galene's turn.
Okay, so I want to step outside of the fog. And then as I do, I want to look over towards Cookie, my automaton companion, and I want to kind of hum something and be like, oh, and I'm going to cast Healing Word on you because I'm worried about you.
Thank you for your service. Yes.
And so you can take 4 points of healing.
Nice.
And then I want to, so I want to look at the yellow one who's been annoying.
Mhm.
And I want to say, not very brave if you're running away. And I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery on him. So that's a wisdom save, 12.
He got a 10.
All right. So he's going to take just 1 point of damage, but has disadvantage on his next attack.
Okay. That's
And
good to
so
know.
does the person I hit last time.
Okay.
Was blue?
I don't
think
remember.
I think you killed.
Did I murder him with my
You-
words? I think I
you
murdered
bullied him
Green
to
with my
death.
word. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I
yeah,
bullied
straight
him
to
to
death.
death.
Because you said green was a
Oh yeah, I
failure.
bullied him to death. That was what happened. Okay, so yeah, yellow has disadvantage on his next attack.
Okay, thank you.
And then looking around, I think I'm gonna go back into the fog.
Okay.
Be like, there's a lot of people. I'm gonna back out.
All right. You are back into the fog. Up next is Cookie.
All right, so I'm within range of yellow, right?
No. Well, no. Yellow's around the corner in the middle of the fog towards the coal yard.
Okay.
But you
And
have
yellow-
red in between you and where yellow is. Red is
All
out of
right.
the corner, more towards where Ray is.
All right, I'll cast a ray of sickness on red.
Okay.
And that'll be my last first level spell slot there.
Do I have to do anything for Ray Sickness?
No, that's going to be a 19 to hit.
19 hit, you hit.
Okay, that's 2d8 there. Come on, big rolls, big rolls. Oh yeah, what's that? Well, that's 10 damage. So I will hold out my hand and literally turn the food in the stomach of this being to sickness, just to rot.
All right. How are you going to ray the food to death out of this red armored individual? You want to? You just move.
Oh
the food
yeah.
around
So
until they implode?
so I shoot out my hand. The ray strikes the individual and turns all of the food in it into rot, and then it just vomits up and then expires.
Yeah, as this individual starts vomiting through, you see it come through like the helmet. And it's like spurting up into the helmet and around the helmet as it's like coming out. And then as it's like puking, you see the bottom where like the feet are from the very soles of the feet start to disappear up into just completely puke itself out onto the ground to like a blood pool is like starting to like form on the ground.
Jesus Christ.
I hate this.
The blood pool bursts into little firefly sparks.
Why am I so happy I stepped back into the fog?
You didn't have to witness that.
Yeah, the blindness is nice sometimes.
All right.
And then I have some movement, right? That was just my attack. I'll just move around the fog until I could until I could see the yellow one.
Okay, you come around the corner and you see the yellow one, pretty afraid, looking up towards the fog.
And I'll pass.
All right. It would be, or no, it is Yellow's turn. Yellow's looking a little disheartened at this all.
It's just yellow left, right?
Correct. Yellow has to move away, I believe, from Aria.
I think that was the reaction, but I'm not sure.
Oh.
You should...
Yeah, it's supposed to be a reaction.
Oh, reaction? Okay, so it's almost at the corner now from where the coal yard is. Doesn't have any ranged. Going to continue to go around the corner of the coal yard and disappears out of sight. Nothing else happens. So then it is Ray's turn. Ray, what would you like to do?
Okay. So because I'm in the fog, do I know that the others have expired, that they're dead?
You heard combat, and then you heard a lot more like calmness. So
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of maybe deduce. You're not sure. You have to use your.
Okay. I want to move toward who casted the fog.
That would be Evelyn.
I want to move towards Evelyn and try to convince them to get rid of the fog.
Okay.
Okay, so I scurry out of the fog and I find you and I look at you. I'm just like, you. Just like, we need to see what's going on. There's not that many left. There's more of us against him. Can you get rid of this?
I think so. Can I? I just drop concentration on it?
Since she's convincing you, yeah.
All right. Yes, I will drop the fog.
All right.
And then
see an empty room.
an empty room. There's no yellow.
No, your friends are here, but the enemies, there's no one there.
There's no one there. So I kind of look around and I look at every single one of you and just go,
I'm gonna wave.
I'm going to look at you and just kind of complete disbelief because I assumed you were going to die because I just like assumed that like
there's me. Oh help!
And like I'm still kind of like slightly wounded and I try like trying to look around and try to check in on everybody and just be like just completely baffled and just be like, what the hell was that?
All right, that is the end of your turn. Back up to Aria. Aria, what would you like to do?
I feel like I would know that, like, there was still one left. Like, I heard, things happening, and I've been popping in and out, and I feel like I would know Yellow hadn't quite died, since that's the one I'd...
Yeah, you were close enough to where it was. You could probably hear the footsteps of the clinking armor run away.
So I'm gonna try to run out so I have at least line of sight down to the coal works.
Okay, you try to check down line of sight, and you see the tower shield like pressed up against the wall of the side of the coal yard, and you cannot see the individual. You see this large tower shield like leaning up against the wall on the side of the
How far away from me would you say it is?
The tower shield from you. If you went directly out towards Balsam Dining Hall, it would probably be about 20. Well, he ran so like 30 feet down from you. If you'd like to go like catty-cornered and like diagonally towards this individual, then you would probably be within 20 feet of this individual after your movement.
As long as I can see it, I'm just going to shatter it again. So I'll need a con save of 12.
Con save of 12. 18.
Okay, I mean, that's fine. It'll just take half damage.
Okay.
So...
Non-physical attacks. Pretty good against heavily on judgments.
It will take 9 damage still.
Jeez, you are a nuke. Okay. You just see the shield like shimmer a little bit. That's it.
And I look back, I'm like, got it.
He's still there though.
Should we interrogate him?
Is that the end of your
There's
turn?
nothing left.
If you don't have anything, it's Evelyn's turn next.
It's just
Galene,
yellow left.
What?
Are we? Is just yellow left? Are we trying to interrogate him?
Yes.
Well, if no one tells me that, I'm just going to shoot him. if I don't hear, did I hear that? Did I hear him say? Did I hear someone say interrogate him? Otherwise, I'm going to shoot him.
We should interrogate him.
Okay, then I won't shoot him.
Yeah. Okay.
We should capture him.
You are about 60 feet away from this individual.
I don't have anything helpful to capture him.
Information is the most valuable thing.
I'm just eagerly nodding on the side, just still completely bewildered as to what's happening.
Galene is convinced she's now the leader of the group.
All right, can I prepare Chaos Bolt and use just like kind of hold it in a threatening manner to back up whoever's going to ask questions?
Yeah, as you hold your actions, you can actually see the spell readied. So yeah, if you'd like
Yes, that's what I meant. Hold the action. Hold Chaos Bolt. If he does do anything threatening towards any of my, I guess we're friends now. Then I'll shoot him.
I assume you move the 30 feet to have him envision?
Yes.
Okay. Up next is Galene.
So I want to also move so that I'm as close to that individual as possible. And so I have 30 feet of movement. So I'm probably at about the same location as Evelyn.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, you're closer. You were more towards the middle of the fog cloud, if I remember.
Okay, I want to get pretty close. And I want to just kind of walk up confidently and tell him, you're going to need to tell us what's going on.
About 20 feet away from him, you can start to hear like like almost like a broken static line start to crackle. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I just want to try to start convincing him that he's going to need to talk. And then I would also like to hold an action. And I'd like to hold just I don't want him to die though. I'm just going to try to convince him that he wants to talk to us.
Okay. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Okay.
With disadvantage, because he is an enemy.
Okay. So I rolled a 13 and a 19.
13 plus anything?
You have that bardic inspiration still.
Oh yeah, I'll use my bardic inspiration. Let me add it.
1d6.
Good thought. Oh, hello. So that's a 19 total because that's plus 6. Thank you.
Oh no!
Bard power.
That's
So 19 and then so 19.
I rolled an intelligence check for him and he got an 18. So
Oh.
really got
Clean.
Ooh.
No, it was you. It was Aria.
Yeah.
That was a good call.
you can hear the cackling that start to dissipate after you said that. All right,
Okay,
Cookie.
so then I'm just going to stand there kind of dramatically, knowing that,
Just gonna walk up as close as I can get.
Okay, you can get within 20 feet of this individual as well. Would you like to hold any actions or do anything?
Oh, wait, I should show you guys. Look, it's so cool. I'm so happy that's what I wrote.
Yeah, I'll just hold a firebolt ready to go.
Okay,
Like
you're holding the
that
fireball.
hot soup.
All right, you hear from behind the shield. All right, you get one question and one answer. Just because I'm curious about who these movement people are.
Movement.
That's all he says, and you'll hear like a come out from the behind the shield, and that will be the end of his turn. All right, up next.
Oh, okay.
I believe is Ray. If I'm...
It's me? I have to ask the question?
Well,
Okay.
it's your turn, I think,
it's
in
your
initiative.
turn.
Oh, yeah.
He's taking turn by turn because he doesn't know if he wants to get captured.
Okay. So now that I realize that he's on the defensive and there's only one, like my composure returns and it's back to just like a very fierce anger because I had just gotten stabbed and messed with and I don't like that and I have no idea what's going on. So I close the gap as much as possible. How close can I get to him?
You were over by where Cookie was, so I'll say within 20 feet as well.
Within 20 feet.
Yeah.
And I want to try to intimidate him into more than just one question.
Okay, he has no visual, so it has to be something you say. So if you
Okay.
can come up
Oh, he has no visual.
Yeah, he is
Okay.
hiding behind a completely enclosed shield. He can't see anything that's going on the other side. That you guys are aware of.
Okay. So then I cannot be, since he can't see, my intimidation is not going to work in the way that I want it to. So selfishly, because I feel like I took the worst hit here, I'm going to yell back at him, "Who the hell are you?"
That was a good one. That was good.
Okay.
I kind of nod over.
A moment passes. You hear the individual kind of like sigh a little bit. We were chosen based off of how you were chosen. And that is all he says.
Don't like that, so I'm
I'm
just
super affronted.
super affronted. I just like, is he, can I tell he's saying this to only me or to all of us?
He is saying it. Go and make an insight check for me.
Insight check?
Yeah.
Okay. 14.
Natural 1.
Yeah.
Yes, he's definitely saying it to everybody. But he seems to have always been more worried about, like throughout this entire time of talking and looking around at people and stuff, he's been the most concerned about Aria versus anybody else in the group. But that is all you can tell based off of his one sentence response. He's still, there's no movement or any sounds coming from him still. Would you like to do anything else on your turn?
I feel like Ray would be very enraged by that not answer, so I want to throw my dagger at him and like just a fit of anger.
Go ahead and make an attack roll at disadvantage against him. He is in a
Disadvantage. Frick.
He's in a up defensive stance.
Oh, one time I roll a nat 20. The other one was a 4, so 8.
No.
You see it coming right perfectly where it is in between the wall and the shield, and you see him sink back into it, so it clips right off in between the edge where he has it right up against the wall. Skitters onto the floor away past Galene.
Okay. I angrily call it back and try to look as cool as I possibly can getting it back because I'm a little embarrassed by that.
Aria, go ahead.
I'm within 20 feet, right?
Yes. You are off to the side, more towards the balls and dining hall.
Okay.
F him up.
I don't know if it would be better to try to persuade. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure I could kill him if I wanted to, but I think I want a better answer or a more descriptive answer.
You don't hear any movement towards this individual or anything like that after the response of the first answer.
How do I need to get closer if I want to try to persuade him to give us a more in-depth?
How do you want to persuade him is the question. They didn't seem... Go ahead and make an insight check for me.
Okay.
Or you especially.
I got a nat 20.
Nat 20.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All of the reactions of everything that has been happening in this fight, none of them seem concerned at all about their buddies dying. Absolutely none. Not even phased. So it doesn't seem like death is something that this individual would ever be afraid of.
Red did come back.
Red did come back.
Yeah, to be fair, when I heard that all those elements were just going up into the air, and then red reappeared, I was kind of concerned that they were just misting and then going to like reform. Would I be able to intimidate? Okay. I'm within 20 feet. Would I be able to use my mage hand just to like grab them by like the neck and intimidate them into answering and saying, why? What do you mean by chosen?
Yeah, so there is, like, with the curved shield, there's a slot up above it where you can descend the hand down into the area that you would not be able to see. Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
Okay.
You just grab his face instead.
It's
It's
either
like
way, I'm gonna grab. It's a 10.
It's a 10. I would say no. Like, you get it down in there, and his helmet's so big it's up against the shield, so you can't get it quite down where his neck would be. That will be your action, though.
Can I still just see if they'll give me an answer if I say, why were we chosen?
Why were you guys chosen is what you ask?
Yeah.
The same reason why we were chosen. It's not the right question. All right, Evelyn, what would you like to do?
Do we still think we're going to get anything out of him, or are we just shooting now?
Can I send my mage hand, Leatherman, just to smack him upside the head real quick? Yeah. Just smacking him, just taunting him.
2 hands in there.
We have 2 hands in there.
Oh, yeah. This is how, if we want off the ship, I feel like we need to know why they want us here.
Just kind of look at you and just be like, well, then what questions do we ask?
Why are we
Evelyn, what would you like to do on your turn?
I'm going to magic missile him.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Is it a spell attack?
Yes.
Oh, it's auto hit
Yes,
though?
it's a spell, yes.
How does that work with defensive stance? Like, with heavy AC? Does it just hits with an armor? Does it like go through the shield? It just goes up and around, like straight down.
Yeah.
Yeah, just bonks him hard on the top of the head 3
They're
times.
homing missiles. They find a way.
Go ahead and roll.
Missiles, find a way. Okay, so 7. Wait. So that was 9. 11.
11. With a lightning bolt, you hear, and Aria, you are locked hands with arms with Galene. Ray, you are coming out of the social hall. Everything is as it was right before the alarms went off. And suddenly you hear, dinner! Dinner! And you see this young kid start sprinting over towards the Balls Inn dining hall. And as you guys kind of look up from what all happened, you feel everything that just transpired, but you see everything as it was. And where you're linking arms, Galene and Aria, you feel like this intense heat coming from like your body and your arms from each other. And
So I still feel this heat.
yeah, you feel specifically, from that linked arm that you have with Aria. And then Evelyn, you feel this overwhelming, like, excruciating. This one actually hurts. Pain. You take 4 points of damage. Just this radiating pain coming from your hand. And Cookie, you feel fine. Cookie, you're hanging out. You feel no heat. You feel your good time. And Ray, you hear a little bit of a yes. Yes, 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 yes. A bunch of yeses creep up from behind you into the back of your skull. And then they all wash away to nothing. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Nice.
That was great.
We did it. We
Thank
didn't
you.
die.
Oh, we didn't die.
Didn't die.
Yeah, we're alive.